Hello? Who's out there? Sound check. I was usually doing the dumb thing where it doesn't actually start because it doesn't think it has to, but it has to start. This sucks because I have to leave. Phoenix King, don't you count down. I hit start on the stupid thing. It says it's been going for 27 seconds, but YouTube recently has been doing this stupid ass shit where it doesn't actually start. It just sits here. Start, you fucking...
Life's better when your stuff is protected.
I got an ad. 1 second, I got an ad. I just want to do the audio check. That's all I want. It just sits here. All right, yeah, I started. We're good. Hi, everybody. I'll be right back. All right, I'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. I'm back. Nothing weird is happening. Nothing mysterious and strange is happening. What do we have tonight? Ladies and gents, we have our new player tournament. We have like 28 signups. That's a lot of people. And Miss Rat is here to pick the winner of the night.
Yeah.
So you got your list to look at. You got to pick a winnerino.
This is all the people?
This is all the people.
Even if they're not checked in?
If it has a no next to them,
Don't do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, too bad, because I was going to choose Zero the Fool, so... No, just kidding.
He's usually pretty cool.
Oh, well, he
But
didn't check
he
in,
didn't- yeah, he
so
didn't
he's
check.
not cool.
He checked out. He has things going on in his real life. Be nice to him.
No.
What's happening Friday? Well, not Friday, but what's happening next
I was
Friday?
going to say Friday, I'm just hanging out. We're getting married.
What was that?
Getting married.
We're getting married?
Mm-hmm. Oh!
We're getting married? Friday?
Friday!
Well, not this Friday, but like next Friday?
Yeah, not this Friday.
We're going to be Mr. and Mrs. Boba.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. and Mrs. Rat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fun.
Where's your thing?
Oh, I just made us bigger so that people could see the happy couple. Or the not so happy couple.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day. More like the hour.
Just kidding. Okay.
All right.
Johnny Cash with a K. That's funny.
I'm picking Dongus Butterfist.
Where is that?
Right there. Dongus
Dongus
Butterfist.
Damn. I wanted to know that. Okay. Hayseed. That's a good one.
He has Mr. Beast as his Discord picture.
What? Okay, Hayseed, you're winning.
Oh, let's go.
I believe in you.
We have Dongus Butterfist for me and Hayseed for
Existence
Miss
is
Rat.
pain for a Meeseeks, Jerry.
Okay. Have fun with your Stardew.
What is the Kirkland brand Meeseeks? Right? He's like,
Oh.
what do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
I like that. All right. Good luck.
All right, goodbye.
Come on, Stinky. Oh, hi, Lily.
There was your daily dose of grace. You streaming the wedding? Of course, dude. Of course. What? No! They wouldn't ask that, Grace. She's on to you, lad. Depends on the number of gas leaks. It's true, Trogdor. It's true. All right. Let's get on to it, huh? New player tournament for the night. It is a Swiss round with 4 rounds that everybody will be able to play.
Oh, it's in my pocket.
All right.
I thought I left my phone.
I figured that out from the context. 4 rounds of Swiss where everybody gets to play best of ones no matter what. And then if there are any ties, we go into tiebreakers and stuff. So it will be all replays all night. In fact, all these replays in this folder are all ready from this tournament. I did start on a 30-minute delay to get people to get some replays in ahead of time so that, you know, I'm not just sitting here like a dummy. Sitting here looking stupid. So let's start it, huh? Don't pig Hummy. Don't pig Hummy. Fuck. Don't ping hubby. There we go. 26 times in one night. Yeah, that is a bit much. All right, we're starting off with Rakido versus Out There. Vampire Coast versus the Chaos Dwarves. There we go. My YouTube was acting up, so I had to fix that off screen. Spam pingos, he's our rat. Alright. For the Vampire Counts. We're starting real strong, by the way. We're starting real strong. Anyway. Vampire Counts, frontline of zombies, triple Graveguard, one of which is the Sternsman, the other two have great weapons. Then we have double Corpse Cart with Unholy Lodestones, 2 Fellbats, the Devils of Schwarzhofen, the Dire Pack, and Manfred von Karstein, a Spirit Leech, Gaze in the Gash, Zombie Summon, and Invocation of Heck. No side for the Chaos Dwarves, we have a front line of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, all with great weapons, and then Infernal Guard with great weapons. Haven't seen these guys ever. Astrogoth with Cascading Firecloak and Hellhammer. Then the Immortals, some Hobgoblin Archers, some sneaky gits as well, a Kadai Fireborn, a Bull Centaur Render with great weapons. That is a hyper elite Chaos Dwarf build. Also, I forget if I said it or not, but there is one Blood Knight. They're in the flank, so I might have missed them on the cast. Not sure. Do we have a Manfred with all the spells? Not all the spells, just a good amount of spells. A healthy smattering of spells. Already, I am concerned for this Chaos Dwarf build's ability to kill the Vargeists and Blood Knights, as the Blood Knights do get in a fight with the Bull Centaur Renders, but they're trading about even. The Bull Centaurs don't have the healing the Blood Knights can get from Manfred / their hunger. Manfred even dives in onto the Bull Centaurs himself. With the rear charge, he is going to terror out them. That is a big win for the forces of the Vampire Counts. Fellbats stopping some of the archers while Kadai Fireborn prowl around, trying to make sure that everything's on the up and up. And the zombie frontline is getting creamed right now. Fighting the Immortals is not an easy task by any means. Infernal Guard with great weapons also here ready to do some business. In fact, even these Graveguard getting kind of destroyed. I imagine a Hellhammer happened while I was watching the Blood Knight Bull Centaur fight. But yeah, the Kadai Fireborn can't seem to figure out where they want to be on the map. They're puppy guarding a little bit, but there's too many things for them to be guarding, so they're losing a Hobgoblin Archer, and now they do need to get activated and go fight the Fellbats. I guess that's fine. As Astrogoth fights the Devils of Schwarzhofen all alone, he's trying to kill off this Corpse Cart and doing a decent job of it while his front line continues to win. But can a hyper elite front line triple Infernal Guard, 2 of which have great weapons? Can they really do it? The Dire Pack are in fighting the Kadai Fireborn, who are kind of rolling these guys. They've almost killed off a Fellbat and the Dire Pack, and even Blood Knights are jumping in now. Blood Knights will do okay, but I think the Kadai could finish off both Fellbats and the Dire Pack before they die off. As Astrogoth continues the fight. Meanwhile, a Breath Attack is coming in from Manfred onto the Immortals. It is very off-kilter, though, and does way more damage to a zombie than to the Immortals themselves. Unlucky stuff there from Manfred. Not his fault, just shit that happens, I suppose. In goes the Gaze and Gash. That does much more damage versus the Immortals. It is infinitely more accurate from Manny. Will we see emote Queek today? Probably never. If you're hoping to see Queek, it's not a winning bet for you. Anyway, the Infernal Guard continue to grind through the front line of the Vampire Counts. Their Graveguard are just about dead. All of them aren't feeling too good, honestly. Astrogoth's doing okay. If he can get into a late game situation where he sits on his Infernal Guard, maybe he'll be alright. As the Kadai, like we had said before, they are trying to clean up these bats. They got rid of the dogs, they're getting rid of one of the bats, and now they're stuck fighting the Blood Knights, and Manfred, as the other Fellbat, has gotten away. It'll just be used to chase stuff off the rest of the game. Devils of Schwarzhofen are isolating out Astrogoth, who does pop Cascading Firecloak to give himself some more melee defense, but man, he is not having a good time as these Devils have ripped him up. And now we are getting down to just the Infernal Guard. And they might be able to kill the Graveguard, but I don't know if they can kill Manfred and these Devils who can cycle charge them. Blood Knights withstand their fight with the Kadai, and now the Kadai are going to fade away. Hell, even the Fellbats make it through that. Which is a bit of a disaster for our Chaos Dwarfy friends. The spirit of Tom Bombadil guides those gazes. Bet your ass it does. Tom Bombadil's a hero in these parts. Astrogoth goes for the other Corpse Cart. Get some free damage on it while the Graveguard next to them are dying. Another Gaze into Gash? Nope, it's a Zombie Summon. And a Breath Attack. That was a good Breath Attack. I do like... I'm saying this ironically. I like how you put down the Zombie Summon only to Breath Attack it. Probably should have Breath Attack first, Zombie second, but, you know. It's kind of a minor detail. The breath attack was really good onto the Immortals, and the zombies don't matter, so who cares? Mortals, terror routing off. Looks like these Infernal Guard with Great Weapons will be right behind them, while the Grave Guard are just about dead. I don't think that will matter. Astrogoth is cleaning up this little side over here. This Grave Guard will fade away in a moment, but army losses might take out the Chaos Dwarves. I was going to say before they secure this pocket, but then they did. They secured it right in front of our eyes. And then army losses is going to take them. Spirit Leech to signal the end of days while I check messages from out there. And who else is sending me replays right now? I have a friend request from Attack Speed. He wants to be my buddy? I suppose that's allowed. Good first win here from Merquito. Devils of Schwarzhofen and Blood Knights and Manfred got really good value. As for the Grave Guard, one of them with great weapons got a lot of value. The other ones struggled fighting the Chaos Dwarf front line. For out there, his Immortals got a lot of kills. The Kadai actually did pretty well, paying for themselves wise. Hobgoblin Archers got shut down pretty quick. Sneaky Kids did alright. But the Bull Centaur Renders just getting isolated out right away was tough. And then betting on heavy infantry is really brutal. There's a reason you don't usually see it out of the Chaos Dwarves, because heavy infantry just has a hard time really carrying games, which I'm not sure is a bad thing. Like, I want all things in the game to be viable, but if heavy infantry is ever a win condition, you're gonna have a bad time, because it's just gonna be like, yes, I don't have enough stats to hurt them. Delicious gameplay. So, while the elite Chaos Dwarves could use a little bit of love, is that it's the Miss and Mr. Rat showdown. Hayseed, who is Grace's champion for the night, versus Dungus Butterfist, who is my pick. Let's go. So we're facing off Khorne versus Nurgle. I do not have the emote tweak active. I do not. I have been rather busy, and Queek is dead to me regardless. So for Hayseed, Grace's champion, we have Scarbrand the Exiled, 2 Minotaurs of Khorne with Great Weapon, then Marauders with dual weapons, Chaos Warriors of Khorne with halberds, and the Hellforged Host Exalted Bloodletter ROR. And we do have a couple of Furies. On the other side, for Nurgle, we do have Tamarkan, Barons of the Bog, a couple Plague Ogres here and there, Chosen of Nurgle with Great Weapons, more Plague Bearers, more Plague Ogres, and a Cultist of Nurgle with his summon, and then like all of his buffs while he's on a Chaos War Shrine of Nurgle. You came in at Butterfist. What did you miss? That's his name. That's the guy's name. He has the name, and the name's Butterfist. Anybody else excited for Age of Mythology to come out? The rework that's been promised for like several years, and I don't believe it till I see it, but it sounds like it's actually coming out now as the Hellforged Hosts are just massacring these Plague Bearers. And Plague Bearer's whole thing is being tanky, so when I say massacred, you must understand that they are getting slammed right now. Like, they have lost 6,000 health in about 30 seconds. Scarbrand is in. I accidentally double-clicked his toes. We went in there for that. He's now surrounded by the Barons of the Bog, Plague Ogres, and Tamarkan himself. Wrathful Reaper is out, giving him a little bit extra damage against that Cultist on his Shrine. He's getting really good damage on the Cultist of the Shrine, but the Cultist can heal it, Scarbrand. You cannot, my friend. You cannot. I don't know if he still wants to be in this fight. He's reconsidering it, immediately gets orders to move out. Hayseed came out of nowhere, and suddenly Kolek is back on land. Battles dangerous. Lies. Age of Mythology Retold is coming September 4th. Alright. I'll become an Age of Mythology streamer around September 4th then. I want to be excited for Civilization 7, but I didn't get into Civilizations 5 or 6. Ever since they moved to Hexagons, I just kind of like pieced out. And it's just, I don't know. I'm just too much of an old fuddy-duddy. I might get back into it, we'll see. Anyway, the Minotaurs of Khorne are in. Looks like they've been playing cagey this whole time, but they commit now, and that's not looking like a good time. As they fight these Plague Ogres, they all of a sudden want out. Minotaurs of Khorne are going to run away, losing half their HP, and Nurgle lost nothing in that exchange. Chaos Warriors of Khorne are just about dead, and the Chosen Nurgle with their great weapons are in there. They are killing some fools. The Hellforged Host really need to find the Chosen Nurgle. They're kind of the only ones that can deal with those guys. No caster? Oh, Volnir, you're right. Tamarkon's not a caster. Huh, Nurgle didn't bring magic. Okay, you should definitely bring magic. Always do that. Hexagon are the best gods? See, I always blame the hexagons, but it's not the hexagons that was my problem. My honest problem with Civilizations 5 and 6, and I didn't play much of it, so people who have actually played it are going to correct me and stuff. But, like, Civilizations 4, when you fought a battle, one of the two people that was interacting was going to die. In Civilizations 5 and 6, it felt more intermediate, like a battle would do like a third of each party's HP, and I was like, no, I just want battles to be like, the battle started and someone died. That's just me. I got a little brain. Meanwhile, focus. Come on, guys, focus. Barons of the Bog getting a fecundity, but they're currently on fire, so that healing is super negated, and they're getting nothing out of it as the Barons of the Bog are about to start demonic instability crumbling any second. There they go. Tamarkon is still chilling. Minotaurs of Khorne have gotten back in there, and the second time is going much better for them. They're creaming the poor Plague Ogres of Nurgle. Destroying those guys. As now the forces of Nurgle are separated out, Tamarkon and then an almost dead Plague Bearer over here all alone, while most of the Nurgle forces are over there. Cultist of Nurgle trying to heal up his bros. It looks like he's trying to get over towards Tamarkon, but... yeah, he's sitting on Halberds and Minotaurs, and ooh, no. The Cultist is now wandering out alone. We're gonna make a bad problem worse. Why is he going alone? He needs friends. No! He gets surrounded, and then he's gonna die, taking up the slow, passive healing of Nurgle that would have been so crucial for the exalted boys of Chosenness. There we go. Chosen Nurgle with great weapons. Skarbrand looks like he's going to kill the Cultist any second. Cultist is trying to path back towards his dudes, but it's not working out. There he goes. There he routes. All of a sudden, the bounce power is in Khorne's favor when it was Nurgle's this whole game until then. The Plague Ogres are stuck fighting on their own. Cultist still healing as long as he's alive. But Skarbrand's rampage looks like it has targeted him. He will not escape. Skarbrand tears him down to nothingness. And now Nurgle is surely doomed. Plague Ogres are gone. It is just Tamarkon and then a bunch of Chosen. And Army losses hits taking them out. GG. Feast of the Net Maggot Lord procs, but it is not going to hit Skarbrand, so that's officially over. Who do you think is the better Clump Lord? Gorst with zombies or Kugath with Nurglings? Between those two choices, Kugath, yeah. I mean, Kugath's just better than Gorst, but, like, he's more expensive. So once you talk about cost efficiency, then it's probably Gorst with zombies, right? But if you're talking about campaign, where it's just raw power, Kugath for sure. Anyway, good win for Hayseed here. His Minotaurs, his Bloodletters, and Skarbrand himself got a lot of value. Wow, that Chaos War with Halberd got 2,000 value. Marauders got mostly killed. Furies didn't do that great either. Verdongus Butterfist. Plague Ogres did pretty well, actually. Chosen of Nurgle did fine. Barons of the Bog did okay. It was the Plague Bearers, the Cultist, and Tamarkon that really let him down. Skarbrand is back. He's alright in, like, a couple matchups where they don't have strong shooting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was told to skip that game because it was just a single entity kite, which is pretty meh. Alright, next up is Undead Showdown between Nardu and Yashkov. Vampire Coast versus the Tomb Kings. This is probably my favorite Undead combination. Between Vampire Counts, you know, Vampire Counts versus Vampire Coast versus Tomb Kings versus Vampire Counts. I like this one the best. Both factions have a bit they can do. For the Coast, we do have 5 handgunners, 1 Carronade, a couple animated Hulks, the Lamprey's Revenge, a front line of Deckhands mobs and polearms, Count Noctilus on foot with Melkoths and Invocation to Heck, and then 2 bomber mobs to clear out the randoms. On the other side, for the Tomb Kings, oh, we do have a Scurvy Dog in the distance. For the Tomb Kings, we have a Skeleton Horseman, a couple other Nehekara Horsemen, a Tomb Prince for some dueling, DJ Kotep, not on his DJ booth, just on horseback with his spells. Looks like Incantation of Vengeance and Cursed Blades. Skeleton Horsemen are going to suicide dive onto the Carronade, so I didn't want to miss that. But other than that, we have 2 Scream Skull Catapults, Tomb Guard with Halberds, a couple Archers here and there, Eyes of the Desert Purple Stalkers, and a Nushabti Great Bow with a Tomb Guard frontline. The Skeleton Horsemen sacrifice will not be in vain, as it looks like the Carronade has already taken too much damage to be saved. They're going to crumble even if the Skeleton Horseman died right now. I still think that thing would crumble to its death, unless Noctilus wants to spend a lot of healing to bring a Carronade back to life. One of the pole arms mobs is also dying pretty badly, Scream Skull Catapult, but it looks like both sides having a problem with suiciding flankers as Scurvy Dogs sneak into the backline, take out a Scream Skull Catapult just as the Skeleton Horsemen finish taking out the Carronade. Now Tomb Guards with Halberds are going to try and get in near deal with Scurvy Dogs, while Archers fire at point-blank range into these spooky, scary little doggos. Cool. Both sides trading their advanced forces. Tammy, Baron, and Cultist Warshrine supposed to lower their weapon strength. I see Dongus Butterfist, but you might want to bring a caster next time, my good sir. I appreciated your tomfoolery. And you were doing fine. You were doing fine until your cultists got separated and then got entirely murdered from, like, literally 100% HP to dead. Yeah. I don't think your build was a bad idea. I think you just, like I said, you were ahead until that moment, so that mistake cost you a lot, which happens. Anyway, this Tomb Prince is in a lose-lose scenario now. He ran up to deal with these bombers, and he is killing them off, but if he succeeds in killing them off, then he is dead meat to all these handgunners surrounding him that are just going to turn and shoot his ass. But if he stays in the bombers, then of course he's just going to be stuck in them forever. Scream Skull Catapults. Since the zombies are not in line formation, they're in blob formation, they can turn and shoot faster, as you see here, but this also makes them much more vulnerable to the forces of the Tomb King's artillery, since when it hits, it's going to hit a lot more things. Tomb King's frontline now engaging with the Vampire Coast, and these Tomb Guard plus Kepler Guard should easily slap the zombies, so the frontline advantage will go to the Tomb Kings. We'll see how well they can get onto this backline. Looks like it's going pretty good for them so far. One, the Hekar Horseman gets caught by animated hulks and shot out by the handgunners, but this handgunner's almost dead from a Scream Skull Catapult. Hekar Horseman gets onto a different one, so really not that bad for these guys. Kepler Guard taking an unholy amount of damage from the bombers. They are weak to fire damage, which the bombers do, and they have low armor, and they're tightly packed, so a lot of problems for the poor Kepler Guard as the bombers eat them alive. Animated Hulk's not having a good time on the front line as Archers shoot them and Halberds stop them in place, but Lamprey's Revenge should be able to kill these spears pretty easily, get out of the back line. 2 of the Vampire Coast guns have locked up, but they are aiming at infantry, which is not their forte. They don't do particularly well against infantry, and they are obstructed. They should be turning around and shooting at the horsemen behind them, or shooting at Kotep, or getting close enough to shoot at the Nushabti Great Bows. They want to shoot at large targets, not really infantry. Another Skull Storm comes out, and it really does good damage on this formation. Some people comment in my YouTube chats where it's like, why do people use line formation? It's so much slower to turn. It is, but the general safety of your units from damage like this is usually worth it, and why people go line formation. Just a heads up. 1 Scream Skull Catapult still online and firing. A Noctilus Zombie Summon fades away, leaving the Archers still up and at them. Purple Stalkers are safe and sound, trying to shoot downhill into Lamprey's Revenge, getting a couple shots here and there. Not entirely going their way as the Scream Skull Catapult tries to punish these guys. Gets some good hits in. The Tomb Prince is trying to stop these other handguns. Now its power is about 50-50 right now. Yeah, Hekar Horsemen fighting to the last against handgunners. The other handgunners, again, so low, they'll probably just crumble on their own. I don't think they'll rally at that HP unless they get a couple indications of the hack. So what is going well for the Vampire Coast? Not a lot. Not a lot. Bounce power is sinking against them. Lamprey's Revenge turning to fight Halberds, but they probably need to just hunt down the Eyes of the Desert, as they're currently getting shot and fighting on top of Halberds, which is a double whammy of Ouchie Ouchie. And they don't like that at all. Animated Hulk's starting to move up. Do their best. The Tomb Prince holds them in place. And the Nushabti Summon of the Tomb King's armor passive is even going to show up behind the last real vestige of infantry for the Vampire Coast. Yeah, those 2 are the only infantry they have. This is a disaster, though. The Lamprey's fighting on top of Halberds. They need to back off, and they're going to try to maybe heal up a bit. I don't know. What can the Coast do? There's always the Noctilus carry win condition. But look at the damage the Scream Skull Catapults are getting on the blobbed up handgun mobs. And with the leadership debuff of Take Cover, they might actually start crumbling, which is just even more free damage. In comes another Skull Storm from Kotep. Does it go back into the Tomb Kings and help out the Coast a little bit? No, it goes off into the wilderness, saving them from any trouble whatsoever. As Noctilus does get a quick little duel with Katep. Not that it's going to matter too much, but he is trying to get anything working in his favor. Last of the handguns is dying, and the Tomb Prince is holding back so many animated Hulks. Look at them all. Look at them all go. Anyway, if either of the players wants feedback, I think the Tomb Kings played pretty well. I don't really have any notes besides at the start. Don't let dogs sneak up on your catapults for free. It seems obvious, but that is the feedback I have. Otherwise, he played it pretty clean. As far as the Vampire Coast, if he wants feedback, Animated Hulks did a decent job trying to peel your backline, but I think your backline also had to help peel your backline. They spent too much time trying to shoot at frontline infantry and were obstructed. That, or they need to go shoot a shop to your stuff, but the handguns just need to shoot at large targets. You can ignore the Tomb King's infantry for the most part. Lampert's Revenge needed to not stop on halberds and then get shot the whole time. Other than that, things were going okay. The build is fine. Karenade dying right away does some Suicide Skeleton Horseman happens. Noctilus trying to clutch the balance of power by healing himself, but it looks like it is too late as army losses will take out the Vampire Coast. Victory to the Tomb Kings and Yashkov. As my quiet, no clicky-click mouse disconnects for no reason. And I bump it up to superpower mode. But you think I'm joking, but it's true. It has this, it has this setting on the bottom where I can, like, turn it on. Or I can turn it on with flashy lights. And sometimes the turn it on function after about 5 minutes will just stop working. The turn on with flashy lights, that works all the time. So I don't know, man. Alright, I'm saving a bunch of replays right now. Bomb. Focusing up. Handgun mobs did alright. Noctilus did fine. Dogs did pretty well. Bombers did very nicely against Tomb Kings. Yashkov, his Lord and Sporkle Stalkers both did great. Ushop to Great Bows did fine, I suppose. The Catapult that got to live did very well. And then Archers did well, as most Archers do against Vampire Coast. Always. What is this? Why isn't Way ever here when we have a Plague Claw Catapult? Guam Jedi versus Johnny Cash. Vampire Counts versus Skaven. And the Vampire Counts build is mostly pretty good. Not the Lord. Strigoi Lord is bold. Bold and brash. I can't tell if no one's chatting or if my YouTube is broken again, which it tends to be. No, looks like no one's chatting. Got it. Alright, we have the Strigoi Vampire Lord. He brought Invocation of Heck, and that is it. He's up on his Terrorgeist mount. Other than that, 4 Vargeists, 4 Crypt Horrors, a bunch of Skeleton Spearmen, and zombies. Very simplistic build. Not gonna lie, I don't know what to put. Your Guamian brother. Yeah. Good. Good. For this game, we have some Wolf Rats, the armor-piercing magic damage variant, interestingly enough. Ikit Claw with his Aerial Net, Death Frenzy, and Cleansing Ruin. Front line of Plan Rats, secondary line of Plague Monks, some Rat Ogres, Warp Fire Throwers, 2 Jezzails, one of which is Natty Boo with Sharpshooters, and we do have an Eshin Triad guarding a Plague Claw Catapult. Okay. That's fine. Invocation of Heck for the Strigoi Lord as he withstands some of the Jezzail pokes. Starting to move in now. A little concerned he's moving in ahead of his forces by too much, but the Wolf Rats are going to jump out and surprise the Crypt Horrors. They'll do some good damage here. Gonna rout soon, though. Crypt Horrors should be able to heal that up. Oh, but they have Death Frenzy Overcast. That's nice. The extra melee stats will give them some better chance of winning in melee combat, which does increase your leadership. And then, of course, being INTP also helps your leadership. Strigoi Lord overextending quite a bit into the enemy lines. Now he's getting attacked by all of the Jezzails. But if he can withstand them, the Vargeist should be able to clean some of this up. I do not like that all the Vargeists are attacking the same target. That is an overcommitment. They probably, one should be going for that, one should be going for the Plague Claw, one should be going for Natty Boobos, and one should go for the Warp Fire Throwers. Big Overcast Invocation to Heck as they try to heal themselves up. Natty Boobos is gone. It can get landed on by the Strigoi Lord, who's going to get a bit of damage off, which is fine. Now the Vargas probably have to get out of here as Plague Monks are closing in, Triads are closing in, Warp Fire Throwers are trying to clear out some of the Skeleton Spearmen. Doing decent damage, but the Clan front line's already falling apart, and this is where it gets ugly for the Skaven most of the time. If the enemy front line just keeps walking through at you, eventually all your weapons teams get shut down, and then you don't usually win without those guys. Howling Warp Gale locking down all the Vargeists and the Strigoi Lord himself, who's already approaching his healing cap. He needs to get off the ground, needs to get away from these Plague Monks. The Plague Monks and Triads are doing really good damage to his Vargeists. It's hard to see their HP bars in all the chaos, but trust me, it's there. Cryptors reached the Plague Claw Catapults, and Skeleton Spearmen reached the Jezzails. Skaven are up on the balance of power for now, but how long will it last as one of the Wolf Rats is routing? It should come back soon. It has very high leadership, considering how far away it is from the battle. And the other one's about to rout any second now. Strigoi Lord's getting super low. Does have to leave this. Now I wonder if a Flensing Ruin or two will actually just kill him off, regardless of what he thinks of the matter. Vargeists need to find a new home. They took a half health off this Rat Ogre, but they lost pretty badly to the Plague Monks. They're super low armor. Vargeists have like, what, 5? Yeah, 5 armor on the Vargeists. Means that when they land in those Plague Monks, they're just going to take insane damage. Another Ikit Claw net is out, but is there a follow-up punishment for that? Or is it just a net for the sake of having a net? Looks like there's a bit of a punish as Storm Fiend comes out from him, and then Natty Poopa Sharpshooters are firing in from the distance, but overall, I don't like it when Skaven players do this. I think you should just use your Winds of Magic on Flensing Ruin, unless you're using the net to do something, but like just netting for the sake of netting is almost never worth it, unfortunately. Vargeists are moving back in. They are moving as way too much of a clump and getting in their own way. General rule of thumb for like Warhammer is if you have 2 or 3 units doing the same size doing the same thing, they'll just get in their own way. Like, out of these Vargeists, look how many models are just fucking around over here and not even attacking Ikit. It's because they're getting in their own way. Whereas, like, if you stack Ogres on top of Gnoblars, both will saturate the area. But if you stack Skeletons on top of Zombies, right, most of the Skeleton Spearmen we can see they're back here. The Skaven are up here, right? So there's that gap between them and the Skavens, because the Zombies are in that gap. It's generally why you don't want to do that. Cryptor is going to chase down the last of the Jezzails. Other Cryptors trying to chase off the Plague Claw Catapults. And they stop. But the Plague Claws do not come back, luckily, for the Vampire Counts. I'm kind of surprised the Counts are even up on Balance of Power right now as the Vargeists dive over on the Warp Fire Throwers, but they're getting attacked by Rat Ogres and Plague Monks. Wonder how that'll end up going for them in the end. Looks like the Counts are going to be able to outgrind the outgrind the Skaven, as everything they have has self-regeneration. The Vargeists have Hunger. Cryptors have self-regen. Strigoi Vampire Lord has both Hunger and self-regen. Plus Invocation to Heck. It's just a lot of healing. It's a lot of bodies to get through. I don't know if they can do it. Where do I send the replay cache? DM me directly on Discord. It's the easiest way, so I get a notification. I don't miss it. Strigoi Lord dives in onto these Plague Monks that are isolated. And now the Vampire Counts are starting to get it together. Running down the Skaven wherever they're isolated. Avoiding Ikit. I think the last hope for the Skaven is save up a nice Overcast Cleansing Ruin. Use that on the Strigoi Lord. Try and snipe him out. And then without his leadership, the Undead will crumble faster and also won't have access to any magic. It's something. You still have these Plague Monks and Eshin Triads that if the Vargeists just land on an AFK, then they'll die. Ikit's trying to keep these Clan Rats up as Wolf Rats rear charge some of the zombies. They are killing off a lot of random chaff. And the Vampire Count's getting dangerously close to just having expensive units, which means everything you have is going to take damage, and then that's really bad for you. You know, because there's no zombies or anything to eat some damage for you. Well, ×2 speed briefly as both sides are just kind of cleaning things up. Looks like the Terrorgeist Lord is trying to go for a breath attack onto Ikit. Another Overcast Invocation to Heck, trying to heal up all the Vargeists, whose heal caps are actually kind of approaching. They've received so much healing over the course of this game. What can the Skaven do? Does not look like a lot. starting to despair for their chances as Vargeist are all back to like full HP. In comes the big last charge. I imagine with the rear charge here, there should be too much leadership debuff, and then they're going to get a bunch of terror routes. So there go the dogs, there go the rat ogres. Ikit's not feeling too good. If he wasn't on his Doom Wheel, he would have terror routed. There's a nice Cleansing Ruin that hits like literally everybody around. It is also overcast, but it only does good damage against the Strigoi Lord. It doesn't even do that much damage against these Vargeists or Cryptors or anything. Like, it's good poke, but it's not game-changing, unfortunately. Warp Fire Throwers in here, trying to do a little bit of damage on the backside, but army losses will take out the Skaven. That is GG. Vampire counts get a win for Guam Jedi. For Mr. Cash, Ikit Claw got 2,400 value. His Plague Monks did okay. Clan Rats did their best to hold. Triads did very well. Warp Fire Throwers, unfortunately, still do not do a lot. Dogs and Rat Ogres did okay. Plague Claw Catapult did nothing, but I appreciated it. And then Giselles did fine. They did fine. If results still wrong, let me know. Okay. Bretonnia Dark Elves, Attack Speed Enjoyer versus Sisidaman. Let's do it. I'm going to check in on the tournament quick while this loads. For our players, we are mostly on to round 3 out of 4. We have one person still fighting in round 2. Alrighty. For our game here, Bretonnia has Peasant Mobs, Men-at-Arms, and more Peasant Mobs. We do have some Mounted Yeomen and Knights of the Realm on the flanks, Royal Hippogriff Knights, Healing Caster, and Lewin Lane Kerr for the front line. Pretty typical Bretonian stuff. On the other side for the Dark Elves, you have some Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows, getting some good harassment on Royal Hippogriff Knights. 1 Bolt Thrower, 2 Dark Shards, a couple Blackguard guarding around a bunch of Dread Spears and Bleak Swords, 2 Cold One Knights, Malice Darkblade, and a Sorceress of Shadows, the Melkoths, and Feebling Foe. Malice is trying to get a duel with Lewin briefly. Lewin ignores him. One person in round 2. There's one game that's still occurring in round 2. I like how the Dark Riders of Peter Crossbows just throw guard mode on and start shooting at the Hippogriffs, accepting that Lewin is there and that Malice will take care of it. That's pretty funny. Where's your Norska representation? I don't know, wherever you're playing. Flesh to Stone giving 60% physical resistance to the Royal Hippogriff Knights as they try and withstand the fire that is coming their way, and now Dark Shards are also leaning in. But I suppose with 60% physical resistance and your 15% ward save, it's really not a big deal. They aren't taking any damage. Now they'll start to take damage again as Lou is on the front lines, still ignoring Malice, maybe to his own peril. But I think the Hippogriffs will be suffering the most for now. Golden Knights are going to die for their transgressions, and the Bretonians have a good surround. More Knights in the Realm and Mounted Yeomen just flooding around the back line. We'll see if they can get in there and actually get anything done, as these Knights of the Realm get stuck on Blackguard and shot by Dark Shards. That is a dead Knight unit. Frontline Bretonnia is almost here. Knights of the Realm trying to support Lewin. And they have got the Reaper Bolt Thrower. Cold Knights charge uphill into the Knights of the Realm, who were routing from the AP missiles, but also the Velociraptors charging them, and now the Mounted Yeomen are trying to get in there. The Dark Rider Peer Crossbows are trying to find somewhere to go, somewhere to get to safety. Now, these are only Mounted Yeomen, but still, the Skirmish Cap of the Dark Elves want nothing to do with these peasants on the back of horses. Royal Hippogriff Knights still haven't found their way into the fight just yet. Good surround from Bretonnia, but I'm worried it's coming in too many bursts, as Malice is not winning against the King of Bretonnia. That is a Grail Knight on a Griffin, and that's spooky. Or a Hippogriff, whatever. I actually don't know what the difference is between a Griffin and a Hippogriff. I claim ignorance. Royal Hippogriff Knights landing on top of the Blackguard of Nagaron. In the extended trade, that should be pretty good for the Blackguard, but on the charge, they don't like it as much. Malice still out here taking blows, taking shots. Demon's Curse down to reduce the Knights of the Realm down to what? 0 melee defense, because their Lance formation also reduced their melee defense. Not that it's going to be punished too much. Bretonia's front line is trying to push through the Elves, and they're doing good work of it. Knights of the Realm taking Melkoths on their way out. And the Hippogriff Knights abandon their fight with the Blackguard. That was not really going great for them, to be honest. Shadows Caster appears to be the next target of King Lewin, though he has just wandered into the Blackguard for this. And Malice needs to transform soon. In fact, he does as soon as I say it. And I'm a little concerned for the Dark Elves when his transformation doesn't bring them into the lead of the balance of power. In fact, Murderous Prowess is popping just now. 3.5 minutes into this game, and a lot of their forces are already dead one way or the other. Several of them are getting routed off and chased off. Griffin is a lion and eagle. Hippogriff is a horse and eagle, I think. Huh. Anyway. Zarkan's out here chasing down Royal Hippogriff Knights as Lewin continues to try and get any snipes off onto the Shadows Caster as he can. Knights of the Realm taking Melkoths while he does so. The Blackguard, still above half HP, going to be a problem because Bretonians bringing the archers that can slowly poke them down. What is that? Regrowth or what? There it is. Regrowth on the Royal Hippogriff Knights, trying to heal them back up. They're going to get a rear charge on the Dread Spears. They might do enough damage to tear out off these Dread Spears. I don't know. So Zarkan was hunting down Lewin, and this time actually doing pretty good work while the Mounted Yeomen surround the Shadows Caster and get very little done. Bretonia has finished cleaning up stuff on the north side. South side of the fight, the Dark Elves are reigning supreme. The balance power is about 50-50. Can Bretonia's healing and tenacity overcome the Dark Elves' raw strength? The Dark Elves still have the Blackguard, which are threatening somewhere. There they are. Shadows Caster, and of course Zarkan, though Zarkan does grow weaker by the moment as he drains himself down with his demon crap. Another Melkoths is out onto the Royal Hippogriff Knights, who are running out of HP to even recover. Unfortunately, they lost attack orders and went AFK right in front of some repeater crossbows. Took some free damage for that, but they will now charge those guys, get rid of them post-haste. Knights of the Realm going to take a fight to the Cold One Knights. They'll get a rear charge on them, which should secure the fight for the Bretonians. If it was head-to-head charging, they might take each other out or it would be extremely close. But with the free rear charge, they should beat the Cold One Knights. Though those guys do have predatory senses. They do have anti-large and armor piercing, which is why it's such a close fight. And even with a rear charge, it looks like it's going to be a wash. The Bretonians breaking before the Dark Elves. Zarkan finds Lewin again, gets a good hit on him as Lewin tries to get away, get up in the sky, slowly heal with his regeneration. What is this? A Bretonian full surround on the Blackguard and the Dread Spears, but does not appear to be amounting to much as the Blackguard hold. They're far too elite to be hurt by the likes of you. Lewin's coming back over there, though, while Zarkan sits on some Peasant Spears. Tries to deal with them because he's currently kind of stuck. Hippogriff Knights could also join Lewin. If they go, looks like they're going to pick off the caster. That's also a fine target. Them or the Blackguard are good. Solid stuff. 2 good hits in a row. Shadows Caster's running for the hills. And we got a good one. It's close. It's close. Anybody bring Time Archon for you? Yeah. Whoop, sorry. What's his name did? The guy I voted for because he has a really funny name. Dongus Butterfist did. Lewin is diving in, trying to tear her out off these Dread Spears. He should be successful in that. The Blackguard won't tear her out, but the Dread Spears should. There they go. The Knights of the Realm can try and chase them down now as the Repeater Crossbows continue to harass Lewin. Cold Knights are in. The Hippogriff Knights are trying to return to the field. Balance power shift in favor of the Dark Elves for now. And the Damsel of Life is getting danger low. Reaper of Souls should actually rout her, and it does. And it does a lot of damage to all these guys surrounding as well. Lewin needs to back off. Sword of Corona is out, but it's just as he needs to leave. So unfortunately, the debuff is going to be wasted. Mouse did it and times transforms early, it feels like. He was getting really low when he transformed. His heal cap was already almost here, and he was pretty low. He was going to tear out soon. Regular Malice is not ITP, I don't think. Hippogriff Knights chase off the Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows as they need to. For the Dark Elves, it is getting down to just the Blackguard and Malice. But that might be enough as you look around. It's not like Bretonia is doing that much better. Their Damsel of Life could honestly die if Malice focuses her and just follows her down. She wouldn't have any healing left for them. Then the Hippogriff Knights are just stuck at that low HP point. Lewin is getting close to his heal cap every second. And then a bunch of random-ass peasants. Oh, boo-hoo. Hippo Knights are back in. Looks like they're also still trying to snipe out the caster. Not getting very far with it. Trying to land down, get a couple shots in. But Malice is nearby, and he's going to turn towards them. Immediately, they try and get out of here. Get back into the air. Looks like Malice got an impact damage charge there. A little bit of damage. Still 7 out of 12 models for these guys. And the Damsel is going to recover soon. She's plenty far to safety and has positive leadership, so she's back. Might want to just regrowth the Royal Hippogriff Knights if you have it in you. You could regrowth yourself, but then you wonder how much Wind's Magic you have left and if it even really matters. Blackguard getting lower and lower. Sarkhan's heal cap is in sight and very close to where his current health bar is. But he gets the side charge in. Helps out the Blackguard, routes off all these peasants and whatnot. That looked like it hurt a lot. An overcasted regrowth for the Hippogriff Knights kills the Damsel outright. I thought I saw her die, or she just shatter. What the hell? I saw you die! Whatever. She's dead. It was all the overcast regrowth on the Hippogriff Knights. They need the HP. It's a fair trade, but it's still funny. She just offed herself. Still have some mounted yeomen for chasing, which they're putting to good use. A couple spearmen and men-at-arms doing their best to get in the fight. And as soon as Malice gets distracted, it looks like Lewin and the Hippogriff Knights are going to move in for a bit of a charge until he comes back, but he is slowly bleeding out. He only has so much healing he can get. He gets 600 more healing, and then he's out for the rest of the game. Another Melkoth damaging the Royal Hippogriff Knights. And it looks like Lewin's going to force the issue, actually just diving on Malice instead of dealing with all this stuff. Reconsiders it as Malice gets closer to his halberds. He doesn't really want to deal with it. Understandable. Druchii piling into Spearmen. Spearmen held together by the power of the Grail Relic at 51 HP. Malice jumps in. He's got Reaper of Souls again soon. He has to, so he can probably just bomb this whole area. There it is. Get good damage on Lewin and the Hippogriff Knights and all that stuff. But Lewin and the Hippogriff Knights, beautiful charge on Sorceress of Shadows. Take her out completely. Gonna knock down the Blackguard and Aggron soon as well, but they do have ITP nowadays after a couple buffs. They desperately need this. They won't be getting out of here just that easily. Malice is officially heal capped. He is on a ticking timer till he's out of here. Dark Elf Caster has enough HP to get positive on leadership again. It just depends on if she can get there before she hits the edge of the map, but Dark Elf Casters will always come back. They could have 1 HP and they'd still come back. Blackguard getting very, very low. The leadership sinks too far. It looks like they are going to rout, but Malice is taking the final fight to Lewin. Royal Hippogriff Knights getting dangerously low, and if Malice can hold on for a while, he can get another Reaper of Souls and really turn this blob fight around. The healing on him won't matter as much, but it's still good damage, right? Lewin is regenerating, getting closer and closer to his heal cap every second. The Dark Elf Sorceress is not going to go off the map, but it looks like Dark Elves just give it up. Cinnamon wants nothing to do with the late game grind. Saw the writing on the wall. Hippogriff Knights and Lewin, hard carrying. For that person out there that didn't understand my video titled The Moment of Zen, they're like, Hippogriff Knights aren't even good. You have not watched a lot of live streams, because Hippogriff Knights have been all over the goddamn place since Bretonnia got reworked. Knights of the Realm also did pretty well. For Cinnamon, Malice and the Blackguard did fantastically. Melkoth Caster did okay. Peter Crossbows did fine. Oh! Judas Priest did okay too. Nagash eating 2 gods and not becoming one yet is amusing for the end times. I haven't read a lot of the end times yet. I've only read Gotrek and Felix's end times, and then Malice Darkblade's end times. Why didn't my message send? Hey. Discord's being poopy. Stop being poopy. Hotline League is on right now. I wish I was there. I wish I wasn't here. I want to be on Hotline League, not on this trash programming. Discord's dying at the moment? Alright, good. It's not just me. Hey, GS. Okay, Trogdar the Flatulent versus Del Duca Sabado. A lot of vampire counts tonight, guys. What's going on here? Who allowed this? Who allowed so many vampire counts? Hiles versus vampire counts is traditionally thought of as an unwinnable matchup for the vampire counts if the High Elves did play it pretty degenerately, but Trogdor's build is honest, so it won't be terrible. But if you can make like a Phoenix Guard box with like Star Dragons and Air Blobs, it can be pretty gross. For Trogdar, we have 4 Illyrian Reaver Archers, the Fireborn, Imric up on his Dragon, and then a bunch of Silvern Guard and Spearmen, more Spearmen, and a Swordmaster of Hoth with a Mage of Life, Earthblood, and Regrowth for her. Hey, Jeremy. Hope you're doing good, buddy. On the other side for the vampire counts, it's a front line of zombies, a secondary line of Graveguard with great weapons, 2 Corpse Cart with Unholy Lodestone, Manfred von Karstone, Gaze in the Gash, Fate of Buna, Spirit Leech, and Invocation Heck. Dire Pack, 2 Fellbats, Devil's Sword Soften, and a Blood Knight. Okay. Dire Pack and the Bats already taking a fight with the Illyrian Reaver Archers, but dogs just hate taking frontal charges from cavalry so much that their anti-large will not save them. The mass difference gives the Illyrian Reavers a serious charge bonus that does a lot of damage to those poor dogs. And the Bats and zombie summons, everyone's trying to stop the Illyrian Reaver Archers. It's not really going in their favor. They're taking so much damage for the effort, and the Fireborn are even coming over to help out. Meanwhile, Manfred and Imric fly side by side, man to man, having a little chat. If this was one of the books, they'd probably be talking about a bunch of serious plot stuff, and Manfred would reveal something to him that he shouldn't have. But it's just like, fuck with Imric, but then it turns back against Manfred because Manfred's stupid. I don't know. Reasons. Texas summertime is tough, dear friends, Jeremy. Fate of Buna is in, but before any of the Dragon Princes die, a Regrowth Overcast is here to cancel it out. Keep all 60 out of 60 of those models up and at them. I think Winds of Magic wide, that's a good trade for the Fate of Buna, but still, I mean, good from both sides. Illyrian Reaver Archers beat back the Fellbats and the Dogs. The remaining Fellbat is retreating under a little bit of pressuring fire from the Illyrian Reavers. Nardu, that's not nice. Fireborn going to charge downhill into the zombies. Unless the Blood Knights get more active than they have been, there's nothing going to stop the Fireborn from doing this. There's no mobility that's going to stop them here. Fireborn, Devil's Schwarzhofen, or Manfred are going to have to do something about these cycle-charging Fireborn boys. The High Elves content to stay on their high ground, just sitting here, waiting patiently while the Illyrian Reavers get all their skirmish out. And the Illyrian Reaver Archers are trying to poke out the Fellbats. Just get rid of them. They're sick of this nuisance. They want to get these guys crumbling down a little bit so they'll kill themselves off. Earthblood to heal up the Illyrian Reavers. Wow. Alright. Really committing them. Fireborn thought about charging downhill, but they didn't seem to realize the Blood Knights were there and then immediately back off and try and get up into the high ground. They've lost 2 models so far. Pretty good considering they took a Fate of Buna and then have been charging for a while. And Manfred and Imric are still just flirting in the sky, neither really wanting to commit. Thankfully for Manfred, the only threat to him is Imric. 4 Illyrian Reaver Archers isn't that bad, and he can largely avoid them, and there's no like Sisters of Avalon or anything, so he's free and clear to fly over the Elven lines. Uses a little breath attack on the Swordmaster of Hoth, but a good dodge there from Trogdar does turn them sideways so that they're less vulnerable to the strike. Fireborn take a fight with the Blood Knights, but now it's the Blood Knights' turn to back off away from them. Through the zombies, they get back to safety. Now the Devil's Schwarzhofen are thinking about landing, but the Illyrian Reaver Archers will discourage that whole thing. Fellbats dive on the Illyrian Reavers, but the Illyrian Reavers should beat them up in melee so badly they don't even have to turn around. Fellbats just have a pathetically low melee attack, which is kind of like the point. They're just supposed to be a nuisance, but Illyrian Reavers with their high elf marshaled prowess You can see their melee stats are just way higher. 32-34 versus 19-44. Not a big deal. Swordmasters of Hoeth getting Earth-blooded as Fate of Buna whittles them down. They're fighting against Graveguard with Great Opens, but Imric throws down a breath attack along the line. And I love how both sides committed so hard to this specific engagement. Like, this Graveguard and this Swordmaster just both got completely fucked up, and neither asked for it. As Manfred flies around, looks like he maybe wants to fight Imric. I don't know. He's just teasing him. He's just waving his tail under his face. Like, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it, bitch? And the Devils of Schwarzhofen are in. Imric is alone in the sky. I don't know if he should take this fight. Might want to just land. Might. Illyrian Reavers are back in. Get attack orders onto the Devils. We'll see what they do with that. Meanwhile, the Fireborn are going to run down some zombies. And still we have Blood Knights patiently waiting for I don't know what. Would a regular regrowth cancel most of Buna? I think Buna outdamages a regular regrowth. But it would cancel most of it, yes. Who would you say is the worst legendary lord lore-wise? Tretch. Actually, Tretch. Alright. The Graveyard Grey Opens are having a bad time as the High Elves grind through them. Illyrian Reavers are still uncontested, and I'm kind of surprised balance power is 50-50. Why Tretch is because Tretch, even in the... when he said worst, I assume he meant, like, least skillful. Tretch is just, like, decent at plotting ambushes after he pretends to retreat, which is, like, most competent Skaven warlords can do that. Tretch is just slightly better at it, but he's so dogshit at everything else that compared to any other legendary lord, he's just not a big deal. Nardu, I know you and I meme about Tretch a lot, but that is my honest answer to that question. Out of the legendary lords, he is the least powerful or impressive. Anyway. Trogdar so far doing a good job. His Illyrian Reaver's still kiting about. His Fireborn's still very healthy. The Vampire Counts have just been spending all of their time keeping Manfred, Blood Knights, and Barguys safe, but that also means they're not really participating in the fight, which the High Elves are winning the grind game. Zombies dying to Spearmen. Graveguard not having a great time against the Spearmen either, to be honest. Clan Moor Slander? Nah, dude. Tretch is pretty... whatever. Imric is going to take the time and land on a corpse cart as Manfred and the Barguys still fly above, but like they need to find a home. They need to find something to be doing, otherwise all this money is just up in the sky being wasted, unfortunately. Long Paul DeRee, that's a good Jack Sparrow quote, and I appreciate it because I like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies a lot, even though they got bad later. I still like them. Manfred, already a worse duelist than Imric. Imric popping his own buffs and popping his debuff onto Manfred is a really, really bad mismatch. Manfred's just going to walk away, Spirit Leeching Imric on the way out. So he ends up winning on the damage trade, somehow. Taking Tretch is psychological warfare. Your opponent can't tell if you're crazy or if thinks you're mean. Yeah. Alright, the Blood Knights finally get in an engagement. You can see why they've been trying to avoid this with the Fireborn for so long. They get absolutely slaughtered. As Imric is going to get a regrowth, and I thought Manfred was throwing down a breath attack, but it looks like he's just diving in. The Fireborn are already heal capped, and maybe the Blood Knights can hold on, get an invocation to Hecker 7 or 8 or 9, and then they could prevail over the Fireborn as Manfred's ripping through them, but for now, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening as Imric's getting the healing of the High Elves. Invocation and a Heck overcast for Manfred and the Devils and the Blood Knights. Is this their moment to shine? They're really trying to kill the Fireborn and Imric. Illyrian Reaver archers are falling back. They don't have a lot of ammo, and they honestly don't have a lot of DPS, being kind of a mild skirmish cav. The High Elf front line dominated. They crushed the Vampire Counts front line. They are trying to stream down here and help out the big fight that is going down. Blood Knights, even after the Overcast Invocation Heck, are getting super low, but so are the Fireborn. It's not like they're having a great time either. Manfred's taking a lot of damage, but so is Imric again. Manfred, the Vampire Counts, they have all the healing in the world. Healing is kind of their whole shtick. As the Corpse Cart comes over to lend a little bit of healing, but also that a very important Vigor Mortis, the extra melee attack and melee defense plus Vigor for all of these units can help keep them in the fights. The Devils from Schwarzhofen just take too much damage. They're trying to dive back in, but they're already so low. They try and help out the Blood Knights and Manfred. Unless you have another Overcast Invocation of Nehek, this fight is doomed, and so are your chances in this game, my friend. You're not having a good one. And that's GG. I agree. It's GG. Bald versus the Dragon Furry, a duel for the ages. Yes. Lore-wise, Alberic is just bland too. He is bland, but I would take him over Tretch. Like, 1v1 mano-a-mano, Alberic wins. And Alberic's also a better commander than Tretch is. Just because Skaven. I don't think it's inherent skill. Like, Tretch is actually a solid commander. Right? But Alberic is also a solid commander, and Bretonnians are better than Skaven, like, in general. Because Skaven, their whole thing is that Skaven betray themselves and keep fucking each other over. So Tretch's army would just fall apart while Bretonnians would fight to the end. Alberic is only a questing knight, I think. I think he's got you there. Not gonna lie. Oh my god, I made messages. What the fuck? Johnny Cash. I'm sorry. I am having difficulties speaking tonight. I'm gonna blame the wine, but it's not the wine's fault. Like, I'm gonna blame it, but it's definitely not just because of that. Hayseed sending me in some more replays. Thanks, Hayseed. Grace will be super happy. Because she's rooting for you. And I hope you lose. It's nothing personal. But Grace can't be right about this. She can't! Alright, I saved up a bunch of replays. What do we got? So we've already cast... Oh, we have not cast my boy Corvus Glaive. And we love Corvus Glaive. We have cast both of these guys. I'm just making sure, because if you haven't been around, I do like to cast everybody at least once, and then I start to just look for replays that look interesting. So we have this Uzbek SSR Polymer guy. I don't think we've cast Torreson yet, because he had us skip his first game. We haven't cast Zach Sparrow yet. Gumdrop's new to me. Waystalker we haven't cast yet because his first game was allegedly a downer. Okay, but we also haven't cast Corvus Glaive, so we're going to keep looking for teams. For people, not teams. For people we haven't cast yet. Checking in on the tournaments, give me a second. Most people are on to round 4, which is the final round before we need to figure out if there's some tiebreakers, right? So let's figure this out. Let's get some Corvus Glaive in our lives, ladies and gentlemen. If you have been to one of our new player tournaments, you will be familiar with Corvus Glaive. This man is a legend, all right? He is a legend. He picks Khorne. He takes roughly the same-ish build every time. It has a fucking cultist in it. And every time I see him, it brings a smile to my face. He gets slightly better at playing this game, and he sends me $5 to say nice things about him. So I will continue to say nice things about him after this break. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you like Pepsi? Because I love Pepsi. Pepsi products are the best. You know what's the best Pepsi product? Mountain Dew. You know why Mountain Dew is good? Because Mountain Dew. It's the dew of the mountains. You go to the top of the mountain, you collect some dew, and you drink it, and it's green. It's green and it has sugar in it. And also, I'm stalling. Stalling so I can get myself a sparkling water to dilute some of this wine because, Jesus, it's hitting a lot harder than it should be, but I don't drink a lot because I have liver disease. You don't look that old, human boy. How do you have liver disease? Are you a drunk? Do you drink so much that you have liver disease? No, it is genetic. Fuck you. How dare you say such things about me? How dare you impute upon my character? Sometimes we are born with it, my friends, and I am born with a double recessive gene. That means my little liver takes all the iron in the world, it piles it up, and it keeps it. It keeps it, and it suffocates itself out with the iron. So I can't drink a lot, otherwise my little liver will die. And that's not good, meaning I don't drink very much. But then when I do drink, I don't have a high tolerance because I don't drink very much. So maybe, shut up. All right. My stalling has been successful. We're good. That is a true fact about me. It is not a big deal. I was just stalling to go get a beverage, but I wasn't lying. It's a true thing, but it's being handled. We're good. All right. On the for the things, for the stuff, for the things and stuff and the things. We have people. I need to go back. I remember Corvus Glaive, but who's he fighting? Out there on the Beastmen versus Corvus Glaive, we have Centaurs with great weapons and throwing axes, some Chaos Warhounds to support them on the flanks, and then a front line of Ungor herds backed up by Pestigors, Brayshaman, Flock of Doom only, and then Morgur and some Minotaurs. Good army. For Corvus Glaive and the boys of Khorne, he has Fleshhounds, Marauders across the front line, some dual weapons, a Soul Grinder of Khorne, Blood Shrines, Minotaurs, great weapons, his Cultist, his classic Cultist. It's not a Corvus Glaive build if he doesn't have the Cultist with the Bloodletter summon, and then Valky up in the sky. Solid stuff, and the frontline fight is going to be intense. Already the Minotaurs and the Beastmen in there with their big yellow fur. Whatever flag they're using apparently makes them the Golden Beastmen. But the Soul Grinder is going kind of nuts. He's going to terror out this Ungor herd pretty soon and leave the Pestigors to their fate. I'm surprised the Minotaurs of Khorne aren't teaming up on these Minotaurs and the Beastmen that are overextended. Probably should have done that, but it's too late now for that. As the Cultist Khorne just needs to charge up his Bloodletter summon, he could rear charge the Pestigors with it, but okay, with the Valkia Spear coming through, he doesn't need to anymore. It would be kind of a waste to throw Bloodletters against those Pestigors. He's going to need to find another target for it after that beautiful spear. Beastmen securing the mobility gain pretty easily, and Khorne already on a bit of a back foot. Needs to make sure these Minotaurs don't get too far overextended, or they will get surrounded and swarmed with no support nearby. Morgur throws down one of his Chaos Spawn summons. I don't know if it was the voluntary one or not, but it is out. Both Chaos Spawn summons are out, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one it is, they're both out. Got it. You might need the Bloodletter summon now, as your Minotaurs are getting isolated and damaged quite a lot, so maybe get the Bloodletters out, just give them a little bit of chaff as Valkyrie tries to fight Morgur, but man, Khorne is down. And they are down bad. They're down bad like me on prom night. Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha. I don't know what I'm ha-haing, but someone does. And that person is having a good laugh. No one else is, because that joke was shit and I'm shit. And I'm not sorry about it. Fuck you. Corvus does throw out his Bloodletter summon. Chaos Spawn are going to fade away soon-ish, and that would leave Minotaurs in a bad situation fighting against Bloodletters all on their own. They would not enjoy that. Other Chaos Spawn, you have 15 seconds left. Then Valkia will be beating up on Morgur, but look at all these Beastmen mobility forces just sitting around waiting for their turn. And I do not for once think that they should not be waiting around. I think they're doing just fine. They could be rear charging these Marauders, they could be chasing off these Minotaurs, that's fine. But I do appreciate they're not just blobbing up and dying. It seems like they're waiting their turn to charge in when something else dies off, so that's fine. Now they should be getting active. Now that the Chaos Spawn are gone, something should run in and help Morgur. They should be running down all these things, and it looks like they're getting active now. So far, like, I'll give it a B+ from the Beastmen mobility play. They secured the mobility advantage, and they're using it, like, fine. They could be more aggressive, but it's B+, right? It's above average. So, good job, Beastmen. Killing it. For Corvus Glaive, I think he's playing fine. I think the build just let him down. Playing Khorne, who is a lower tier faction, versus Beastmen, who is a higher tier faction, is always going to be hard. And then when your opponent plays well, it does just put you on the back foot. I think his build was a little too silly. Soul Grinder of Khorne struggling to really get a ton of impact out. And that's looking like, yeah, it looks like the Beastmen are just going to take it from this one. You were created on prom night? Good for you, man. Good for you. This Valkia actually might finish Morgur, which no one ever does. I have never seen a Morgur the Shadow game where he dies before the rest of his army. He is always the last man standing. Looks like this will be no exception. Gets very close to dead, but then pops the Call to Violence to stay in it. And Relentless Rage is the only thing keeping Valky in it. She throws her Spear Sleipnir at him just out of spite. It wasn't even going to do much damage. Just wanted to say, hey, fuck you, cowman, as he ran away. I appreciate it. Also, someone told me to stop swearing, and I just remembered that comment now, and I decided not to take that feedback, apparently. My bad, if you're out there and you care about my swearing. My bad. If you don't mind my swearing, then good for you. Centaurs did great. Minotaurs also did fine. But that was pretty classic Beastmen gameplay. Just secure the flanks, and then you get to run the game as you see fit. Cycle charge, pick good engagements, whatnot. I would have liked to see someone come in there and bail out Morgur, but whatever. But whatever. Valkia did good. The rest struggled to get their value back. What do we got? What do we got? Let's find some people we haven't cast yet just to make sure. We have Uzbek SSR Polymer, but I swear I saw him up above somewhere with someone else I hadn't cast. We could do a 2-for-1. Ben Hopton. $10. More swearing, more prom night. Dude. Okay, so here's the thing. There we go. Waystalker and Uzbek. We haven't cast either of these players, so that's the 2-for-1. Here's the thing about my prom night. All right. Here's the thing. And this is a family-friendly story. This is a family-friendly story. Don't you worry. It's not going to get gross. It is embarrassing for me, but it's not weird. So, spoiler alert, the guy that ends up streaming a video game professionally, not the coolest dude. All right. So I got a prom night, and back in my day, because I'm 30, if you didn't know, I'm 30. So back in my day, there was a song, and I'm forgetting what the name was because it's been a long time. But it was like, there was this line that was like, "Bottom jeans, boots with the fur, and the whole club is looking at her. She get low." That one, right? And there's that one point where the song goes low, 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 low. And apparently all the girls are supposed to, like, do this thing where they get, like, as low as they can while not, like, sitting down. Like, as low as you can get without losing your balance. That's the whole thing, and then you come back up. I didn't know that! So every time I had ever danced to that song in high school, I always, like, did the same thing because I thought everyone was doing it. I didn't notice that it was only one gender that was ever doing it. And at prom, specifically, my date noticed that I did it and laughed at me. And yeah, that's a shitty thing to do. I know that too. But anyway, and laughed at me, and I was like, what? And then, like, our whole friend group stopped and, like, what are you laughing about? And then she's like, he went down at the girl part. And I was like, that's a girl part? I didn't know. And, like, all of them laughed at me? That's kind of fucked up. You shouldn't do that. It's a fucked up thing to do. Because you know what there's not? There's not a goddamn memo that goes around about who's supposed to do the part. All right? I learned dancing by watching other people do it. I saw people go down at that part. I was like, cool, I'm going to go down at that part. I didn't pay attention. I was, 17 at the time? I'm not good at paying attention. I don't pay attention to shit. So I didn't notice that it was only girls that went down at that part. I just thought it looked fun. You know what? That's fine. Don't laugh at me. Fuck you. That's my PSA for today. That's my prom is shitty. Being an awkward teenager sucks. And if you're an awkward teenager right now, more power to you. It only gets better. No. We're pausing again. That's the thing that they don't tell you. For some reason, everybody's like, high school is the best time of your life. Everything gets worse after that. That's a fucking lie. High school's fine. It's fun for different reasons. Adulthood's also fun. You know why? Because you get to make a bunch of money. You get to make a bunch of decisions. Not all the decisions are shitty ones. You can do whatever you want whenever you want. You can stream a fucking video game. Alright? Streaming a video game at 30. If I lived with my parents, they would say, no, go get a job in business. I have a job. It's a job that keeps this house and the lights on so I can stream this video game for you people. Being an adult fucking rocks. You can have kids or you can not have kids. You can have any job you want in the whole world. Being an adult is the shit. This is real talk. I have way more satisfaction with my life now that I'm an adult than when I was in school. I hated school. And when everyone would tell me, again, this is a real thing. When people would tell me high school are the best years of your life, and I'm like, well, I fucking hate high school, so my life's gonna suck. And then I got to college, and people were like, college are the best years of your life. All you're gonna do is party and all this stuff. I didn't. I studied really hard. College sucked. And then I got out of college, and I'm like, oh, never mind. Being an adult is lit. Being an adult is awesome. I don't have to go to school anymore. Anyway. Let's go. Enough about me. No one came here for me. You came here for Warhammer. But I had an absurdly large quantity of wine, and now we're feeling loose. So, my bad. Dark Elves versus, it appears, the Demons of Chaos of Waystalker. Waystalker's Demons of Chaos. I forget what the other guy's name is because I haven't cast his game before. Let me go find it. It is Uzbek SSR Polymer something. We have a Bloodwrack Medusa, then the RR Bloodwrack Medusa for the Dark Elves. 5 Corsair Hambos, 4 Dark Riders, Crows of Cain, Mouse Darkblade, and a Spirit Leech caster. Ooh, but she didn't bring a Spirit Leech. She brought Soul Blight and Doom of Darkness. For the demons, we have Chaos Furies of Slaanesh, 4 of them, Soul Grinder, Triple Seeker of Slaanesh, Exalted Lord Change of Tzeentch with Blue Fire, and then 5 Blue Horrors. The Blue Fire is trying to poke down Siren Red Rune, getting good damage out onto her so far, considering we're only a minute into the game. And the Blue Fire has done most of the work there. Chaos Fury summoned from the Exalted Lord Change charges the Black Arc Corsair Handbows, who should be able to handle themselves rather well. And wow, one of the Blue Horrors is already going to Demonic Instability Crumble away from the Bloodwrack Medusas, just wrecking these fools. She did not pass the vibe check, Ben. It's true. Low by Flowrider. Thank you, GS. Thank you. All right, chat popped off, but I distracted us long enough from the battle, so I'm gonna move forward. But I glanced at some of your stuff. Wicked appears a little bit older than me, judging by our taste in music. All right, Seekers and Furies teaming up really well to get good Hammer and Anvil pairings against the Dark Riders, routing them off quickly. And the Dark Elves are trying to bring some Dark Riders over from the left down to the center, but they're out of position, and the Demons did take advantage of anyone who wasn't around, getting good damage out here. Blood Archduce is still getting good damage, even though Blue Fires are coming for them yet again. And something just smoked that one. It looks like it was the Soul Grinder from across the battlefield hit this. Siren Red Rune is going to push her back. And is that a Doom of Darkness Overcast? No, it's a Soul Blight, reducing Seekers to 0 armor as they fight these Black Arc Corsairs. The Black Arc Corsairs plus the Blood Arc Medusa getting really good damage down on the Chaos Furies and the Seekers of Slaanesh. The Dark Riders that we mentioned before are starting to arrive, and the Seekers pushed off by the Black Arc Corsair Hambos. We still have 2 Chaos Furies of Slaanesh that have not joined the fight yet. There's a third one over here that retreated away from the Crows of Cain. And the Siren Red Rune has returned for now, though I don't imagine she'll be staying long. One more Blue Fire from the Exalted Lord of Change, and she will be gone forever. Mouse is chasing the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. I don't hate this. I really don't think he can do that much damage to the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch, but I think he's just trying to harass it and stop it from shooting at his Medusas for a little bit. As they fire into the Blue Horrors and get rid of them, Blue Fire hits them, doing good damage. So both sides really trading a lot of this poke. Bounce Power's 50-50. We've had a lot of close games tonight, honestly. Good job, everybody. Jepardors, apparently a part of this game, showing up in the chat. How you doing, man? Your prom date laughed at you one time. No wonder you turned out like this. That's an overstatement. She got over it. She was actually very fun. We had a good night. But that one moment was fucked up. But overall, it was a good night. And she's a nice lady. I don't hold it against her. You shouldn't. No. Should she have laughed at me? No. Does that make her a shitty person? Also, no. Justin, I know that now. I love you guys. You guys are funny. Long Paul to read. Being adult's still better. Yeah, being adult's great. Blue Horrors of Tzeentch fading away as the Dark Riders have surrounded them. The Dark Elf Cavalry showing up to the fight is very much a boon for them. They had to walk across the whole map, but once they got here, they put it to good effect. Balance Power is tipping slightly against the Demons of Chaos, and especially when you remember there's a second Malice Darkblade in there, an even more dangerous Malice Darkblade in there. As the Demons of Chaos are quickly getting down to just their 2 single entities, they have just this Chaos Fury of Slaanesh left for multi-entity models. Then they're just at the Soul Grinder and the Blue Fire Caster. Soul Grinder and the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch are trying to snipe out Malice. He does not have ITP. He can Terror Route, and if he naturally routes, he will not turn into Zarkan for any reason. Overall, I'd rather beat the Dark Elves than the Demons in this situation, however, as Malice is still chasing around the Soul Grinder. Blue Fire is going to poke at him for a second. He loses the thread before charging the Soul Grinder, getting a little bit of damage out. Chaos Fury is getting chased around by the Crows of Cain. The rest of the Dark Elves are rallying to their lord's side. Soul Grinder going for a shot on Malice as he retreats. Decent damage, plus the Narcissism. Does the silence stop him from turning into Zarkan? Because if so, he's actually in big trouble right now. I think that's the only way for the demons to win, is if they rout Malice, then chase him off the map, and then everything else is just doomed. But if they can't kill him during the Narcissism like that, because the Dark Rider's peeled for him right there, since he's allowed to come back, if he transforms into Zarkan, they're not going to lose this game. They'll be fine. What up, Ozzy? How you doing? If you knew that Turn has the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch banned in his events, if you consider doing the same. Not really. In land battles right now, it's strong, but not that crazy. The main problem is with the game right now is that there's just like a lot of stuff that's broken, where you either ban everything that's broken, and that takes like a lot of effort, or you leave most of the broken stuff up and then everybody gets broken stuff. It's difficult, right? And I do have, so here's the thing I actually can't talk about, but I do have some information that have led to the decisions I have made. So you're just going to have to bear with me on that one because I can't tell you any more than I just did. But there is a reason we haven't banned a bunch of things, and it's like, you can make your own inferences from that. Soul Grinder's still trying to snipe out Malice. He needs to transform right about now. There we go. Transform bounce power is completely chilling. Soul Grinder has 2 shots left. Exalted Lord of Change. A lot of blue fires. Looks like he is going to throw them at Malice? No. Throws them at the Deathcaster. Really good damage onto her. That's fine. Aw, Wicked. Wicked, you could have been our savior. Could have been our hero. I mean, you still are our hero, but for different reasons. CA hasn't had a job opening in months? Yeah. No, they're definitely cutting costs and cutting staff. For sure. I mean, Pharaoh bombed. Warhammer 3 sold well on release, but it was not received well because on release it sucked. And then some of their DLC bombed. So, like, they made a bunch of bad decisions. I definitely get why they're cutting jobs. And it, like, the more positive thing is recently they've been killing it. They've been really listening to the community, making pretty fast changes as far as like this game goes. Their last DLC was super great. A bunch of positive stuff, but they were down in the dubs for a while. They kept fucking up and couldn't stop. Doom and Darkness trying to get the Soul Grinder to Demonic Instability Crumble. He's at 1 leadership, barely hanging on, but it looks like he will hold on for now. Doom and Darkness is going to wear off in 10 seconds, but with Malice joining the fight, if he has that Demon's Curse, he could throw that down and further decrease its leadership and get it Demonic Stability Crumble away. But Doom and Darkness wears off. The Soul Grinder will return. Dark Riders are starting to rally in the distance, but can the demons really close it out? It depends maybe if they have like some army abilities that are really good, like a Fecundity or something. It could be fine. Are you going to pink fire or blue fire down those 3 handbows that are all on top of each other? Because that would be kind of nuts. Cough Hyena. Oh yeah, Hyena! Yeah, that was terrible too. Mostly Sega decisions as far as cuts, yeah. Alright, Soul Grinder holding on. 0 ammo, so it is just a melee unit now. Dark Rider's routing for like the 900th time. Somehow still not shattered, but whatever. The Soul Grinder's charging back in to fight the Dark Elf caster, but Malice gets a big hit plus a Reaper of Souls. Soul Grinder is going to die here, and then that'll be army losses. A win for the Dark Elves. And who needs to ban the Soul Grinder when you have Dark Elves? Did you watch the new Gears of War trailer, Christian? I did not. I played Gears of War 1 through 4. I thought 4 was a little silly for plot reasons. I have the Gears of War books, all right? That's how deep into this shit I am. So I thought 4 was a bit silly for plot reasons. Look at that. Soul Grinder 3,000 value. His Lord 3,100 value. Seekers didn't pay for themselves. Furies didn't pay for themselves. Blue Horrors didn't pay for themselves. It was just these 2 trying to carry the whole game. Anyway, I thought 4 was silly. The very short version was they defeated the Locust, they did all this stuff, and then, like, a secret, second, better Locust show up because the plot demands it, and I just couldn't believe that. And I owned Gears of War 5. I barely got through the tutorial before I just quit and burned out. So, I see 6 as a prequel. Maybe that'll be good. I hope it'll be good, because I really like the franchise. But we'll see. Anyway, I saw the trailer. It was good. It was a good trailer. I appreciate it. Wicked just friended me on Discord. Question, should I be concerned? Alright. What do we have? We still have one person fighting in round 3. Round 4 is about half done. And let me check in on some stuff here. So I know Zach Sparrow needs an extra point. Oh my goodness. Where is Waystalker? Why can't I find them? Oh, it's Wildwood Ranger. Okay. Let's take a look. No 4-0s so far. Trailer was a banger. Yeah. Reject that Lucius friend quest. Next 7 Cathay DLC will say the same. Dude, I just like Legend of Total War is usually right. But I can't imagine why they would just pump out Cathay DLCs. I can't imagine, like, it's so weird that they would just abandon Slaanesh and Corrin like that and just pump out Cathay DLCs. Alright, we have Torsen versus Gumdrop. Torsen, we didn't get to cast his first round replay because apparently it was lame, which is fair. And then Gumdrop, I don't believe I've cast any of his games so far. So we have Chaos Dwarves and Slaanesh. A thingy you're organizing. I'm intrigued. Is it the thing you already messaged me about? Because then that's probably fine. Did we set a date for that? Because I don't remember putting it on my calendar, and I probably should. Probably should. Okay, for Slaanesh and Torsen, we have 4 Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh. We have 2 Seekers, both in the Vanguard. Azazel up in the sky. I imagine he has his Rampage. Yes, he does. He also has his Lash of Slaanesh. And then Chaos Warriors and Hell Scourges, Devoted Marauders, and Exalted Demonettes. A very small Slaanesh army. Small, but to the point. On the other side, for the Chaos Warriors, we have the Sorcerer Prophet Hashut with the Flames of Asgore and Ashstorm. Hashut's Dark Ravagers, and then a bunch of guns. Triple Chaos Dwarf Blunderbusses, one of which is the Granite Guard. Frontline of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, with Hobgoblin Cutthroats in the back line. $69 people in chat, very nice. The shame is that only 20 of them are subscribed, which is fucked up, dude. We're the best channel that's ever existed. I'll admit, tonight has not been my strongest stream, as I've been struggling, but usually we're pretty good. Usually. Granite Guard getting some shots off onto the Marauders on their way in. Tearing up those fools. Look at them. Look at them scattering all these Marauders. With each volley, they just send them flying. It's so satisfying. The visual work on the Chaos Dwarfs was amazing. Anything negative you can say about the DLC, it was not on the visuals. The visuals are incredible. Chaos Dwarfs doing very little damage to the infantry of Slaanesh, and now the Exalted Demonettes going into single line formation to just get through that front line and get some good damage in. Flames of Asgore is down onto the Seekers. How much damage will it do? Let's find out, my friends! Lots! Lots of damage! Kills an entire Seeker with that cast. It is going to demonic its ability crumbles. That was a good cast. Rampage is coming out onto the Lord of the Chaos Dwarves, keeping him next to Azazel, though the Seekers nearby are already losing the fight anyway, so I don't think they'll honestly be that much help. Chaos Dwarf frontline is trying to hold, and the Hashstark Ravagers are AFK. I think they might have their ranged attack on, which they need to get into melee. It looks like they are going to charge into these guys. There we go. They're much better in melee than they are at ranged. Wicked D joining the channel as a Warpfire thrower. Now I'm being bribed. Yeah. Alright, Wicked. I'm around. You know where to find me. I've never been shy. Sorcerer Prophet does chuck down to Ash Storm for weakness to fire damage. These Chaos Dwarf Warriors don't provide it, but he does. That does help him a little bit. And he's trying to get rid of these Seekers who are at 0 leadership. Get back up to 3 before Demonica's ability will hit. There's no heal for the Sorcerer Prophet for quite a while, though, and his leadership is dipping. And if he routes, Azazel will easily chase him off the map. Somehow he manages to rally. Now the Chaos Dwarf Blunderbusters are trying to light up Azazel. They hit their own Lord for a little bit, but still with the anti-aircraft fire, I don't know if Azazel can even follow him. The Ash Storm is slowing him down, making him weak to the fire of the Chaos Dwarf Blunderbusters, and he needs to get out of there as the shotguns will keep him at bay and get the Sorcerer Prophet to safety. There's 4 Skirmish Cabs. Slaanesh who are all very healthy and still have a decent amount of ammunition as they dive in. Azazel is trying to get to the Sorcerer Prophet, and with his superior speed, he should be able to catch up to him. 81 to 100. Yeah, Azazel will chase him off, and without the Sorcerer Prophet, this is going to get a little dicey for the Chaos Dwarves. Exalted Demonette still churning through the Chaos Dwarves wherever they find them. Very high stats, great armor piercing, makes them perfect versus the Chaos Dwarves. The Skirmish Cav being around to chase off anything that routes is also very good. I think Slaanesh has a pretty good handle on this game. Balance Power is only slightly in their favor, though I am much more pessimistic of their chances. Thanks, Wicked. You're saying nice things about me, and I don't know how to respond because I'm awkward, as I've hoped we've established throughout this stream. But you're appreciated, buddy. Tell Flying Taco he's still a piece of shit, though. Just taking digs at Flying Taco for no fucking reason. Alright. This is looking pretty over. Slaanesh's Demonettes are on the back line, and they're also pushing through the front line. Hashstark Ravagers are the last strength point here for the Chaos Dwarves, and they're just getting skirmished out. And then even then, let's say the Skirmish Cav run out of ammunition, Hashstark Ravagers have to grind through all of this infantry, which is not something that Bull Centaur Renders want to do. And Azazel has Pavane that he can just cast them 2 or 3 times and they'll die. So, this is looking pretty over for the Chaos Dwarves. It was a good attempt, but Azazel getting that really good Lord Snipe with a bit of help from the Seekers, but honestly it was mostly him. I wouldn't be surprised if his value was over 2,000. It was just good stuff. 1,600. Close, but not quite for me. Seekers, more mixed value. Overall, better than we usually see Seekers get. And the Marauder Horsemen, 2 of them got exactly the same value. They all did pretty good. For Gumdrop, it was valiant. His blunderbusses, besides the Granite Guard, did struggle quite a lot. Chaos Dwarf Warriors could not hold against the elite front line of Slaanesh. And that was that. Human Boy is your favorite channel that you blocked. Oh! Oh, would you look at that? Alright, let's take a look for any other names we don't recognize, as I've gotten a bunch of messages. What's going on? Zach Sparrow is messaging to me. Alright, what do we have? Bongo and Bongo. Hayseed and Yashkov. Any 4-0s, ladies and gents. That's a lot of 3s. Someone's got to save me from the 3s. Lyrians could get a 4-0. Hayseed and Yashkov. Hayseed could get a 4-0. Blah and Dongus. Neither of them can get a 4-0. Alright, so we still have the 4-0 potentials to save me from the tiebreakers. Let's look for... Oh, there's Pra 2. I don't recognize Pra 2 from this tournament so far. Looking. We haven't cast Zach Sparrow yet. We haven't cast the Dane yet. Pra 2. Okay, so there's still some people out here we haven't spectated. Okay. I don't think I've also cast Attack Speed Enjoyer just yet. So we'll carry on. So what was I just looking at? Zach Sparrow. Let's go, dude. Trogdor the Flatulent on his beloved Wood Elves versus Zach Sparrow on the Empire, but the Empire I like. Not steam tanks, not any of this shit. Just good old-fashioned boys with good old-fashioned grenade launchers. New rule. Anyone who bribes hummus is in the finals. Let's go. Wood Elves with the mass Vanguard builds. Not a lot of time for me to go into it, but we do have 2 Outriders grenade launchers for the Empire. Archers, Mortars, Great Swords, and then a bunch of Empire Knights, Boris Todbringer, and a Firecaster. For the Wood Elves, we have a whole bunch of Dryads, Great Stag Knights, Glade Riders, a Spellweaver of Life with Dwellers Below and Earthblood, and then more Glade Riders in the Vanguard, Wild Riders as well. Dryads just trying to get in here. They're already getting danger low in HP, but one Outrider grenade launcher is taken out very quickly. The other one did manage to fall back, and now Friendly Fire is its own swordsman because the Empire don't have enough to worry about. I guess Friendly Fire is another thing they have to do. Mortar's going to be shooting at the Glade Riders. That really won't do that much damage. And the Mortars were not expecting this full Wood Elf Vanguard rush. They were probably hoping for more archers that they could deal with. Great Stag Knights charging in on both sides, going to surround these poor little Empire Knights. Their armor-piercing antlers getting straight through those Imperial armors. No problem. Archers firing in, and that is going to be a juicy Dwellers Below on 2 different archers and the Mortar team. Should be quite a lot of damage. The Spellweaver is going to avoid Boris for a bit. I feel like the Wood Elves are up, but the balance of power says it's about 50-50, and then as I look around, all the Wood Elves are like dead, so I guess that's fine. As the Dwellers continue to batter and whip around these poor Mortar crews and archers that just wanted to do their jobs. The Dwellers wears off, and they are still standing, still alive. The Mortars are not going to be helpful in this battle overall, so I guess it is fine. One Great Stag Knight is about dead, which is a big problem for the Wood Elves. And the other Great Stag Knight also taking a lot of damage as the archers have now turned their ire onto them. Boris Todbringer hunting down the Spellweaver as the Spellweaver tried to get these Outriders grenade launchers off the map. It will not work. The Outriders are going to come back any second now. Any second now? Any second now? There you go. You are not going to go off the map when you're completely fine. Fuck you. Archers still shooting into any Wood Elves they can get their immediate little paws on. And some Glade Riders are jumping in to stop the Mortar crews manually, knocking them off of their mounts, pushing them away, and the Archers are also getting close to routing as the Wood Elves refuse to give up on this cap charge. We have some Dryads that have rallied and need to come back and fight. We just saw Burning Head streak through the line, so it's not like that's anywhere soon. And Boris honestly needs to rejoin the fight. With all of his terror and leadership debuffs, he could bail out the Empire from quite a lot of this disaster just by joining the fight. Like, look at these Great Stag Knights. Look at them. And gone! Boom! No problem whatsoever, Mr. Man. You'll love to see it. Mortar's still trying to get any impact in on this game. Grenade launchers trying to rejoin the fight, and archers are too. But the Empire is in dire straits. I know the balance of power says 50-50, but I'm very concerned with the Empire right now. A lot of their stuff's routing. We'll see if Trogdor can get some of his skirmish cab on it. They do need to chase these guys down and don't let them come back and whatever. The Empire's balance of power is inflated by all the ranged units that are just stuck in melee right now. Like, these archers aren't getting their full potential out. The Mortars aren't getting their full potential out, so it doesn't matter. Glade Riders are getting active, chasing swordsmen around. Great Stag Knights, other Great Stag Knights running around. That's fine. We gotta get these archers, lads. We gotta get these archers. The Stag Knights are huge in cars. It's true. Bounce power is 50-50. There's Boris and his Empire Knights beating up on these Wild Riders. We still have one healthy Great Stag Knight, and that's going to be another Dwellers Below, but a Burning Head. All right, both sides just saying fuck this particular blob, as both sides' blobs that formed here get massacred in the blink of an eye. Everyone's routing. Nobody wins. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Boris routes off the Wild Riders, but now the Bright Wizard needs his help as the Spellweaver of Life is sniping him out pretty effectively. Boris will need to turn and come back. Looks like the Great Stag Knights are demanding his attention more as he tries to keep these Empire Knights alive. Needs them more than he needs the Bright Wizard, apparently, as the Bright Wizard is left to his own devices and murdered by a lady on an eagle. That's how I want to go. Archers were allowed to rally, and they're firing in on the Wood Elf Glade Riders. Now, thankfully for them, Archers don't really have the highest DPS or anything, so they should be fine to just charge in here and deal with it themselves. Wild Riders are also rallying to the cause as well. I'm starting to get very concerned for the Empire. Bounce power is quite high due to Boris, but Boris, like most lords on this type of mount, don't really love to just sit in mass amounts of things and fight their way out. They have to kind of... They like to duel and they like to cycle charge, but if they're the last thing on the battlefield, they usually get dragged down. Still have one healthy Great Stag Knight rejoining the fight. Wood Elves routing in all directions. So is the Empire. You were charged by moose in the Rocky Mountain National Park. I'm glad you're alive, Wicked. That is a scary situation, my friend. Boris is trying to pick a fight with the Great Stag Knights. That is not what I was expecting. I thought Boris would want to evade them like the plague, but apparently he's just going in for it. I have 9 messages? Why? Okay. Okay. Alright. Alright. I'll respond to those later. Fuck these messages. Great Stag Knights with Loix Blessing. The effect of Loix Blessing looks a lot like they're getting like Melkoths or something, so I keep thinking they're taking damage when they're not. And the Bright Wizard rallied only to get charged in the face by a bunch of angry elk. He gets routed. Bounce power is still 50-50. The Empire has a couple state troops and some almost dead knights. Archers here and there, but it's mostly the power of a full health Boris. For the Wood Elves, full health Caster Lord, half, 2/3 health Great Stag Knight. That is also it. So both sides about out of juice here, but I do worry about Boris getting surrounded by Great Stag Knights and beaten to death. That is a very real concern that I have. And I'm allowed to have it. Another Earthblood out. It's Great Stag Knights chase things down. Wild Riders get a brief charge onto some swordsmen, but Boris nearby, it looks like they want to leave. Get out of the woods. Get to safety. Never mind. Get rear charged by Boris and get massacred. Oh, God. He just dives in and takes him out. Oh, boy. Justin with the $1. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Alright, little fast forward here since we are in a replay and both sides just seem to be regathering their forces. Another Earthblood onto these Great Stag Knights. And I think the Empire is quite down, to be honest. Where these Great Stag Knights can probably carry the rest of the game. Spellweaver of Life taking a duel with Boris is a little bit silly. Don't want that at all. And Loix Blessing out, giving 25% more speed to the Great Stag Knights. The Empire Knights can't run for long. They won't get far enough away, and they get rear charged by these guys. I think they're going to shatter, too. I think they've routed twice already. Spellweaver of Life running away from Boris. Oh, they apparently don't shatter just yet. Good for them. Spear's getting very low. Gonna rout soon, and Boris needs to find his fight, and apparently it's with a full health Great Stag Knight. Not like he has a lot of choices, but he is just gonna commit to the fight with them. Try and debuff them. Glade Rider is gonna get these spearmen and swordsmen out of here, so Boris is left all alone. Surrounded by angry elk. Spellweaver nearby for support. Should be all the Great Stag Knights need to win. But hold on here. The state troops rally around Boris. They push off the Glade Riders. Wild Riders are trying to join the fight too, but they're so low that honestly when they get in range of Boris's debuffs, they might just rout out of principle. Their charge should take out the state troops, but they themselves should also die for it. Charge bonus keeps them in it for now. Up to 52 leadership from 18 a second ago. It's a little wild. Okay, I guess if they're going to hang in there, the Boris is doomed. He's getting beat up on. All alone against the Vitelgi. Everybody's just talking about Moose. Why is everybody talking about Moose? Moose don't need to be talked about. Moose are secretive. Boris is slowly trying to kill everything, but I really don't think he can damage the Great Stag Knights at all, and now he's getting cycle charged. You can see the balance power is just increasingly sinking against him, and that's why I'm fast forwarding, is he can't do this. If he even starts to do this, I'll slow down, but he can't. He's not going to do it. Healing cap is almost in for him. Great Stag Knights also have their healing cap in sight, but they do not take debuffs while they're in the forest. Forest does. So they're even more buffed up here than they would be. And the cycle charging the Elven Maiden should take him out. There he goes. Wood Elves S tier confirmed. It's great. They're awesome. And everyone, the kitty's here. Hi, kitty. Good attempt in from Zach Sparrow. Love the name. Good play. Appreciate you not bringing a steam tank. But it is a win for the Wood Elves and Trogdar the Flatulent. 3,500 value for that one Great Stag Knight. Wilden. A flock of meese. What do you mean Warhammer stream? This is a Moose chat. The grenade launchers got massacred instantly. Bright Wizard, Boris, Empire Knights did okay. Mortars also did very little. Spearmen tried to hold it down. Archers actually did well for once. This kitty cat is losing his mind. I have 10 messages. My God. All right, how are we doing? Checking in on the thing. No 4-0s yet. Everyone denied a 4-0. Dongus, Butterfist, and Lyrians. Looks like Lyrians is the last hope for a 4-0 no tie. Or does Blah? No, Blah can't get a 4-0. It is Lyrian or nothing. Lyrian or bust. Yashkaf ruining a 4-0. How dare you? Okay. Someone's asking how to send a replay. I don't have time to answer it right now, but it is okay. Sorry. Answering about a bunch of messages, gathering replays and stuff. Okay. I've checked in on the tournament. We are wondering where certain match is. There's one group that's really slowing us down. So I will continue to look for people I haven't cast. We have many who I haven't cast. Attack Speed Enjoyer, I'm not sure if I have. That one's a hard maybe. The Dane, I have not. Pra 2, I have not. There's so many. There's so many people. All right, we continue on. Johnny Cash versus the Dane. I retreat from no man. Zach Sparrow's here. Hey, dude. Hey. Okay, that game loaded up real fast. For the Vampire Coast, we have 2 Scurvy Dogs, 2 Deck Gunners, one which is a Shade Wraith Gunners, a Depth Guard Polearms, some Fellbats, Lamper's Revenge, a front line of zombies, some with Polearms, some without. Count Noctilus with Pit of Shades, Invocation of the Heck, and then Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, 2... I switched armies in the middle of that. That was the Vampire Coast. For the Chaos Storms, 2 Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, 2 Magma Cannons, which are strangely coming back in these new player tournaments, and I still assumed that they were really bad, but maybe I am wrong. We have Infernal Ironsword, 1 Blunderbuss, then some Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, regular Chaos Dwarf Warriors, the Blazing Beards with their blasting charges, and then a Burning Headcaster, Cascading Firecloak. Noctilus and the boys moving up. Shade Wraith Gunners eager to get in range of those elite Chaos Dwarf infantry units. And they're still moving up. Magma Cannons gain some good damage out on the Shade Wraith Gunners, surprisingly enough. First of many Wraith Storms coming in. This one's going to hit the Magma Cannon, do some good damage. But, oh, speaking of good damage, that Deck Gunner did so much. Shade Wraith Gunners could honestly use an Invocation Heck from Noctilus. I think he might want to wait for the fire damage to wear off, but still, they could use a bro. Because look how much the Deck Gunners are doing with these Magma Cannons. It's insane. It's nuts. When's the last time anybody saw a Skullcracker? Oh, for so long, dude. Skullcrackers are useless compared to Iron Demons. Burning Head was coming out to try and predict the Deckhands mobs, but they stopped in place. Thankfully for them, the Burning Head curves into the line and then is going to curve back down the line. RNG favoring the Chaos Dwarves as much as possible, though a Magma Cannon's already shattered and Zombie Summon is harassing another one. Shade Wraith Gunners and Deck Gunners trying to get to the safety behind the Polearms here. These Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders are now stuck fighting the elite Depth Guard and should get routed off in no time at all. Should. So the Deck Gunners are secure. The Magma Cannons are less than that. These Deck Gunners and the Shade Wraith combo routes another Magma Cannon. Does it shatter it? Negative 46 leadership. That volley might just shatter it. There she goes. So that thing ain't coming back. And now the Deck Gunners can turn their volleys onto either the Infernal Ironsworn or maybe the Chaos Dwarf Blunderbusses. Either or is fine, if they have the time and the safety to do so. Oh, there's a Morngul flank. Hello, little Morngul flank. I did not notice you there. Night Terrors and other Mornguls creeping in to get something done. Blunderbuss is shooting at Noctilus, getting really good damage out as he throws down a Pit of Shades onto the Blazing Beards. Is it Overcast? Hard to tell, but it is going to do good damage regardless while the Fellbats try and stop some of the Blunderbusses. The Mornguls are creeping in here. Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders trying to catch the Night Terrors, and the Night Terrors actually trying to opt out of this, interestingly enough. Then they get into the fight. They'll be fine. Another Wraith Storm plus the Shade Wraith Gunners and the other Deck Gunners all poking down the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, who does occasionally get heals off Noctilus trying to heal himself. Blazing Beards fighting Noctilus. After their horrific encounter with the Pit of Shades, they're going to have a rough time. The Shade Wraith Gunners plus other Deck Gunners continue to make the Sorcerer Prophet look like a chump. Push him around. Night Terrors tear out off the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. They need to turn onto the Blunderbusses because the longer they fuck around in front of them, the longer they're going to take this extra damage they don't need to be taking. Looks like they're going to get distracted. Chase down the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. Even though the Scurvy Dogs have got it, now they're starting to turn, but they've taken so much damage. Can they even finish off the Blunderbusses as they're walking back into all of this fire? Fellbats might be able to help them out a little bit with that distraction. Might. Another Pit of Shades out from Noctilus onto the Blazing Beards. He is really not appreciating their shit. Still try and kill them off. Shade Wraith Gunners and other Deck Gunners are moving up. They should probably shoot at the Infernal Ironsworn if they can. Meanwhile, the Morngul Haunter ROR. Just the Morngul's ROR, I suppose, the Night Terrors. Not doing great against the Sorcerer Prophet and the Blunderbusses. Not a good time for them. Lamper's Revenge moving in on the Infernal Ironsworn. They'll do okay here. They'll do okay. As the other Morghuls just died fighting the Iron Sworn. It's fine. Everything's fine. This guy's sick. Alright, our last game is on the way. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I was checking in some tournament stuff. Apologize for the distraction. Morghuls and the Night Terrors fighting near the Sorcerer Prophet, still trying to rout off the last of the blunderbusses. Meanwhile, the Shade Wraith and Deck Gunners, yeah, just completely uninhibited. Firing in, though there's a blunderbuss that is going to cause a bit of trouble. Lampert's Revenge are weak to fire damage, and the blunderbusses, of course, do armor piercing, so they're going to want to watch out for that. Might need the Scurry Dogs to loop down south here and just charge these blunderbusses a bit. Maybe have the Deck Gunners help out just a smidge, but Lampert's going to do a lot of damage. Wraithstorm also trying to take these guys out. Vampire Coast does seem to be in ascension. Shade Wraith Gunners plus the Deck Gunners going to take out those Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Grey opens around Noctilus while hoping the Wraithstorm finishes off the blunderbusses. It will not be the case, as the Depth Guard will have to be brought in to do so instead. Should be the end of it. It's the Chaos Dwarves still shooting at the Lampert's Revenge. Depth Guard rout them off. These Infernal Ironsworn will be gone soon. And these Chaos Dwarf Warriors will be gone soon. And then it'll just be our Sorcerer Prophet friend. All alone. Versus the Vampire Coast. It's not enough to win it. Not usually. In comes a beautiful Burning Head, though. Takes out almost 3 entire units. Look at him. Look at him just charging into the jaws of death. Courageous beyond all measure. Another Pit of Shades from Noctilus is out on the Infernal Ironsworn, though. That is big damage to the balance of power of the Chaos Dwarves, and the balance of power is the biggest thing in them right now. As the Lord tries and takes out the Deck Gunners to just buy a little bit more time, their ammunition and their high price point should help him stay in the game. And it is just barely enough for now, as Lampert's Revenge are closing in on him. Their little shotgun blast doing a lot more damage than I think he expects, and his heal is down for another 50 seconds, so I do think Armilos will claim him any second now, but it was a valiant attempt. Invocation hack to even try and keep the Shade Wraith Gunners in. He lands again to charge them, as more stuff shatters off. Have some Infernal Ironsworn return to the test. Look at that balance of power. There we go. That's army losses. Alright. I'm checking on the tournament 1 second. Okay. Bongo versus Lyrians. There might be some shenanigans about. Hold on, everybody. Wow, the Shade Wraith Gunners and Deck Gunners got a bunch of stuff. Weird. Sorry, someone's having issues. Because there is... The last game to be played would determine whether or not we have a tie or not. So that's a lot. It's a lot to have on your shoulders. That's a new person. That's another new person. I guess this stream never ends. So we gotta cast my game. We gotta cast... I saw a new person. Minye. Attack Speed Enjoyer, I'm still not sure if I ever cast his games tonight. We just cast the Dane. So that's not our fault. We still haven't cast Pra 2. It never fucking ends. Alright, let's get Pra 2. Let's get it. Pratu! Dongus Butterfist getting your first dub. Nice job, dude. Nice job. Proud of you. Killing it. Hayseed versus Pratu. High Elves Corn. Always a fun matchup, to be honest. Marauders Corn, dual weapons, and Halberds across the front line. Scarbrand, double Minotaurs, great weapons, and then 3 Chaos Furies of Corn. On this side for the High Elves, a very straight line of spears. Silvern Guard and Spearmen mixed throughout. Dragon Princes on the back. Archers, Swordmaster of Hoeth, and an Archmage of Life on a dragon. With Earthblood and Shield of Thorns. Okay. High Elves reforming ranks. Leon Reaver Archers standing a little far out. They do need to back off. There they go. Don't want to get caught by Khorne Infantry full free. Hayseed, you had a good time this tournament? Good, dude. Did you caught that Grace was rooting for you? Hope you didn't let her down. What did your score end up being? In the end. 2-2, 3-1, 1-3, 0-4, 4-0. I know you're not a 4-0 because there's only one person who could possibly get us 4-0. All right, Swordmasters of Hoeth gonna run up and deal with these Marauders of Khorne. The elite Swordmasters making quick work of those poor hapless Marauders. Scarbrand's diving straight onto Archers with his Furies. He might pop his Rampage, though I kind of hope he doesn't because the Archers are already so doomed that you really need to find the Dragon Princes and Rampage them into a bad fight. Ooh, especially with your Minotaurs. Yeah, that could be huge. If Scarbrand could Rampage the Dragon Princes and then countercharge them with his Minos, that would be giga gigantic. 3-1, not bad. Not bad. Dragon Princes around Scarbrand. He hasn't popped his Rampage just yet, and they're starting to get away. Doesn't look like he's going to. Not just yet. Chaos Fury is busy chasing the Ellyrian Reavers off. Archers are routing, so they aren't getting to shoot this whole time. The Swordmaster of Hoeth and the High Elf front line's holding for now, though it's looking a little sketchy. And here we go. Dragon Prince is up in the thing. Rampage, 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 Rampage! Yeah, let's go! Dragon Prince's Rampage back into Scarbrand and a bunch of anti-large Minotaurs. That is a bad time to be a High Elf. That one Dragon Prince gets away from the Rampage because it got outside the circle. It's still taking a lot of damage. The other one is still stuck in it as well. Horn of Khorne buffing up the Minotaur's Khorne even further. More damage out of the Dragon Princes. And that is a lot of ooey owie. Should have picked Dowie. Khorne front line's not feeling great. Dragon cycle charging them, not helping at all. Swordmaster of Hoeth and the other Spearmen getting through them pretty easily, to be honest. One of the Dragon Princes is out, the other one's down below half HP. Why you gotta call me out? I didn't do anything. Cheers for a great first tournament. Hell yeah, Rasmussen. We do host this every week. We switch time zones every single week, so we go back and forth between EU friendly and NA friendly. So if this time zone works for you, every other week we're here for you, man. We're all winners. Yeah. Scarbrand is currently killing off some Spearmen as Minotaurs get a bit of a rear charge, but Dragon Princes are back in with a little bit of healing supports from the Mage of Life. I guess they'll be okay. Dragon Princes, everywhere there's Dragon Princes. Swordmasters of Hoeth still being very healthy is problematic. The forces of Khorne. Because they're massacring these Chaos Warriors with halberds. Marauders with dual weapons aren't going to be able to do much either. Dragon Princes catch out a Minotaur on top of Silver and Guard supports. Those Minotaurs are having a bad time starting to retreat. Scarbrand finally kills off one of those Dragon Princes, so he doesn't have to deal with it anymore. And Chaos Fury is coming back. How many kills has Khorne gotten so far? We saw Horn of Khorne earlier. They've killed about 600 High Elves. There might be a Sword of Khorne around, and I wonder if he ends up using it. Rampages of Silver and Guard and stuff. That's going fine, but I still want to see a sword on the Swordmasters of Hoeth. 5 a.m. here. It is 10:03 p.m. on this side of the pond. There's only one person that goes here for. Hey! No, I thought I said 4-0. No, I thought I said 4-0. Scarbrand charging in, trying to get a good hit onto the Archmage of Life. I cast a game of you already, Bretonia versus Dark Elves game. I got told the question was in the air if you cast a game or not today. Oh, yeah, dude. That it was in the air. Thank you for reminding me. With like 28 players signing up tonight, and I'm trying to get everybody casted at least once, it is very hard to remember who I have all casted because I am a shitter. Skarbrand is doing very good work on the Archmage of Life, and she starts to run away for now. The High Elves gathering up their infantry, but that could be all just a bait if there's a Sword of Corn. Give me that sword. Give me that corn. Give me that Sword of Corn. Give me it. Give me it! I love the Sword of Corn. It's my favorite army ability. Alright, Swordmaster still cleaving through any Corn forces, and you gotta remember that Corn's balance of power is very much inflated due to how healthy Skarbrand is. Oh my god! All the Swordmasters just died. Never mind, the High Elves are doomed. I was gonna say the Swordmasters are healthy, and the Life Mage could keep healing them up and stuff, but Skarbrand's charge plus Minos, that was a lot of dead Swordmasters all of a sudden. Jipitars is messaging me. Some guy is messaging me right now. I'm mad at him. I'm not mad at him. Actually, this works out incredibly well for me, but I'll deal with it after this game. I don't want to cut off this game to do things like this, so shush. Anyway, Skarbrand rampages the Dragon Lord onto the ground right in front of his Minotaurs and himself, but he is healthy, his Minos are not. If the Swordmasters and Sylvan Guard and Spearmen and stuff can get over here and help out a little bit, maybe they'll be okay. Look at all these Spearmen huddling around the Dragon Lord. She might be able to back off. She might be able to throw down some Earthbloods and be fine. Elsewhere, Khorne is losing all their troops. They still have some Furies. That's about it. Mino strong. There's a nice heal for the Swordmasters and everybody else. One of the Minos is routing. The other one only has 4 models. Not feeling great, and they're going to run away. Can Skarbrand truly carry? Is what we're wondering about. Also, Attack Speed Enjoyer messaged me and said I have cast one of his games already, so that's good. That's good. It's one less game I have to cast. Chaos Fury is going to take a fight with the Archmage of Life, and they are doing a lot of damage to her. She needs to land. She needs to manually land right now. You need to land. You are going to die up here. Oh, God. She's lost 300 HP since I started hovering her. 400. 500. 600. 600. How does one join a new player tournament? 100T, Sir Dante. Sir Dante, is 100T for 100 Thieves? If so, I enjoy the League of Legends team represented by your organization. 2, I host one every week on my Discord. We post it in our tournaments chat. So, yeah, sign up to that ahead of time. Anyway, with Furies chasing off the Archmage of Life, now this is starting to look over, because soon the High Elf leadership is about to spike down, and Skarbrand is just rampaging through everybody here. The last strength is the Swordmasters of Hoeth, which, if we have a Sword of Khorne, I mean, it's one rampage away from death. Sir Dante? Good. Good. I don't know if you watch League of Legends at all, or if you watch any of the other 100 Thieves content, because I know they cover multiple esports, but I'm a League of Legends fan. I like the team. They're good lads. Tenacity's doing well in the top lane. Well, he used to be. Now they have Sniper, and Sniper's also cool. But, whatever. Don't forget that. Yeah, I'll do the bit in a second. Alright. Alright. Report W. So we do have a 4-0 in the end. Which is what I was stalling for here. So, come with me. Come with me, you sillies. Boop. So we do end up having a 4-0. Lyrian's Bongo is not responding, so Lyrian's takes the win, which would give him the only 4-0 in the tournament tonight, meaning we don't have a tie, which is fine by me, because as you can see down here, it is 10 p.m., and I would like to finish casting a couple games and then go to bed. Right. So Lyrian's will win for tonight, so congratulations to them. And as for your question about how to join tournaments, 1 second. Jippa. Well done tonight, my friend. With the only undefeated record, you will be our winner No tiebreakers. Ha. I'll give him Bone Ripper for winning our new player tournament. Look at that cat picture. Anyway, if you want to feel so lame, Lamau, well, fine. No Bone Ripper for you. I mean, you never lost. And we're the only one to do so. Anyway, if you want to join our first future tournaments, when Butcherbird and Tequila Sunset aren't busy being assholes, yeah, I'm calling both you out. It's fine. They both know me pretty well. We do post tournaments in this tournaments tab, and you can see here I post Rat Ogre. Check in if you're busy and all that stuff. So we post all of our new play tournaments on Turn site, Total Tavern, and I'll ping it. Now that Rat Ogre roll, you can get that. Give Rat Ogre roll. It allows you to play in our new player tournaments. You'll receive my pings and notifications when a new player tournament's up. It also gives you access to all of our new player chats, our best of one practice pit, which is pretty much just quick battles, but it's whatever. And then we also have our list of coaches, which if you were trying to learn a faction, you can just go here and message any of these people that are listed under the faction you're trying to learn. And you can even post your replays in this channel, replays for coaches, and various good players, not just coaches. Like Sipa's very good, and he's quite active in this chat. People watch your replay and tell you what you could have done better or give you suggestions on your builds. So we have tons of resources for people that are just trying to learn. And it can even be quick battles, right? Like you don't have to play in our tournaments. You don't have to play on our server. You can post the replays for coaches of just quick battles and still get advice. Or even if you're not going to like do new player specific stuff, we do have the matchup discussion chat, which like is always active with a ton of people just theory crafting builds and talking about what's good and bad and what could be better. So like just if you want to do any multiplayer stuff, join our Discord. There's a million chats where people are talking about multiplayer all the fucking time. Because we're just a bunch of nerds. We're just a bunch of nerds who like to share information, share builds. And if you're like, well, will people give me their builds? Some people will, some people won't. But most people like to give builds because they like to tell you how great they are at the game. And if you use their builds, then you're acknowledging that they're good at the game. So, yeah. Most people share builds out of ego rather than keeping them a secret. But some people keep them secret. You never know. I am an ego gamer. I'll tell you all of my builds just to show how great I am. How fucking amazing I am. Right? Right. Alright, back to it. We still have a couple replays to go before we've cast everybody at least once. Japard? Don't feel lame, dude. You went 3-0. Nobody else went 3-0. Everybody else went 3-1. I was gonna DM you, but since you're here in the chat, hi. So normally I take the Rat Ogre roll off of someone who wins a new player tournament, but since you didn't actually get to play your last round, you can keep it if you want. If you want the Bone Ripper roll, I can give it to you, but literally all it does is stops you from playing from new player tournaments in the future. I'll leave that up to you because you haven't been exactly like dominating the games tonight. It's not like you're far and above everybody else in this tournament, so it wouldn't be that bad to have you around again. I don't know. Message me if you really want the Bone Ripper roll. Otherwise, I'll just leave you as a Rat Ogre and you can play in another one. But for tonight, you are our winner. You were the only person undefeated. And there are some times where we have an odd number of players and everybody gets bye rounds because someone doesn't have a partner each round. So shit happens, dude. Shit happens. All right, we got to finish up finding people. So we know we have Minye. We have My Game. Anybody else I'm looking for here? We acknowledge that I did cast Attack Speed Enjoyer once. Okay, 2 more games we're obligated to do, and then after that we'll do what we want to do. So let's do Minye. He's been waiting on us. But we have 2 choices, so let's pick a good one. That looks pretty funny. That looks pretty funny. All right, Rakido versus Minye. Or Mini. All right, Japard. We're happy to have you. Rikito versus Mini. I think he talked to me last time he played, and he just said his name is Mini. Reno Fortunato. Triple Chosen, very based. All right, we have Knights of the Brazen Throne, Marauders, 2 Hellstriders with Slanesh the Hellscourges, Triple Chosen with great weapons, and then a Tzeentch caster with Blue Fire and the Infernal Gateway, plus a Forsaken in the Woods. On the other side, for the High Elves, we have 2 Dragon Princes, a Warlion of Krace, then some Silvern Guard, Lothern Seaguard, Imrik. I think I said Imrik. Then Regrowth and Earthblood. Milia! Skullcrusher Aura, what a build. I'm worried for the High Elves because a lot of them Seaguard are their front line, which means they only get a little bit to shoot, and then they'll be surrounded by chaff and dumb shit. Warlions of Krace get up into the high ground, but they lose their orders. There we go. Good downhill charge onto the Hellstriders. I was just worried they would get AFK for a bit and get side charged, and that would be really bad. So they're going to take a fight to the Hellstriders. We'll see how that goes for them. Dragon Princes fighting the Knights of the Brazen Throne and Marauders. The Marauders are almost dead, but the Knights of the Brazen Throne are just fine. More Dragon Princes opting in, and can Imrik offer any buffs? Does he have his Dragon Horn or Breath Attack or something to help out the situation, as the Dragon Princes are losing very badly to the Skullcrusher Arwar and the Tzeentch caster. Looks like they're actually just going to fall back, and there comes the Breath Attack. Streaming in, gets a good little bit of damage on the Knights of the Brazen Throne, who are still pursuing the High Elves out of the fight, catching up to them once again. The Chosen are reaching the Asur. Chosen are very much better than Lothern Seaguard in melee combat. That is not close. Dragon Horn of Imrik is out. The Dragon Princes will need to return now that they're buffed up by that Dragon Horn. Good rear charge in from the Warlions, plus Imrik charging down on top as well. Good damage here so far, but the Dragon Princes are not returning when they are needed. And Imrik fights alone. Now they're looking like they're coming back. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Lothern Seaguard are just getting slammed by Chosen. There's nothing to talk about over here. It's just a massacre of 4 High Elf bodies. This is also the key point of the game. If the High Elves win this engagement, then they'll probably win the whole game. If they lose this engagement, it's going to be tough to win. It's going to be tough. Chaos Spawn Summon is out from the Tzeentch caster. It is temporary, as the Skullcrushers are down to half HP and losing more and more as it goes along. So this is turning into a good fight for the High Elves, which keeps them in this game. Because this area is not going to be their strength at all. The Chosen are not being stopped in any capacity. These Chosen have almost killed the Spearmen, taking very, very little, if any, damage at all. Blue Fire pokes down the Mage of Life just a little bit. Chaos Spawn, 30 seconds left of life as they fight the Dragon Princes side by side with the Knights of the Brazen Throne, who are back in, getting some flank attacks on the Dragon Princes while Chaos Spawn distract them. And Imrik is constantly pursuing the Tzeentch Sorcerer, though I think the Tzeentch Sorcerer is faster. 110 speed. Yeah, Imrik can't match that. He only has 80. He can't keep up with that kind of stuff. Dragon Princes terror-routing away from the Knights of the Brazen Throne. And Chaos Spawn are going to die right there. Pop. They're gone. And Chaos is still up on the bounce power, I do agree. I've said this a million times, but just in case you were not there for one of those millions of times, Dragon Lords in general do not like fighting infantry forever and ever. If this gets to a late game where it's just Imrik versus all of the Chaos Army, he will have to sit in Chosen, he will die. Warriors of Chaos trying to snipe out everything that isn't Imrik and just force him to stay around in the late game, stay surrounded by Chosen. Last of the Fireborn are, regular Dragon Princes are rejoining the fight, trying to save the Mage of Life with a brilliant charge. They get distracted by the Skullcrushers, who sniped out a couple of their models on the way in. Now the Dragon Princes are bogged down and Forsaken, getting taken out, rear charged by Hellstriders. They'll be on their way as other Hellstriders chase off the other Dragon Princes. We still have a Warlion. We still have a Silvern Guard for the Warriors of Chaos. It's the only thing besides Imrik putting down any kind of fight. Chosen should still beat them. Should. Star Lance is popped for Imrik, giving him a little bit more damage. Knights of the Brazen Throne, not sure what they're going to do yet. I wonder if they should just charge Imrik right here. He is out on his own. He doesn't have any support. You could get some good damage down on him. Blue Fire hits the Mage of Life, trying to knock her out before she can heal up Imrik too much throughout this fight. And as you can see, the Warriors of Chaos have a pretty good handle on the mobility game, so if they manage to route her like they're trying to do, then they can chase her off with all the ease in the world. Hellstrider's trying to peel off the War Lions of Krace while keeping up their chase on the Dragon Princes, and one of the Dragon Princes actually comes back while being attacked by the Hellstriders. So unthreatened are they by the light cavalry of Slaanesh. They just rally in their face and turn around and beat the shit out of them. Hellstrider's going to rout. Blue Fire is down just as a regrowth is coming in. Oh, but the Blue Fire kills her, canceling the regrowth. Nice stuff. Bounce power shifts very far away from the High Elves. I'm not sure what they can do at this point, as Imrik is just stuck in these Chosen. As they cleave him down. Army losses will take him out. That is GG. The Dragon doesn't have enough splash damage to out DPS and AP infantry surround? Not really, Jep. Because, like, it can. Right, it can. But everything in multiplayer boils down to cost effectiveness. And does a 2,800 gold Dragon Lord beat a 1,400 gold Chosen in melee? Let's say yes. Let's say that's true. Is he going to beat it cost effectively? No. He's going to lose so much of his HP. Like, this Chosen was the one that was fighting him. It got 2,300 value, right? Imrik only got 1,200 value fighting back against it, so it's like, he could kill it, and let's say he does, but he loses 2,500 gold value doing that, while Chaos lost 1,400 gold value, so they came out positive. Because everything is about, in land battles, right? Domination's different. I'm not good at that game mode. I'm not going to pretend to be good at that game mode. In land battles, it's about getting your opponent's 12,000 gold off the map while keeping as much of your 12,000 gold on the map as possible. And for that, you need value trades. And that's like, when you talk about what units are meta, it's units that provide the most for their cost. And Strat Game was once saying that, like, what was it? I forget what it would be, but he was pointing out like a dog shit unit. And for example, let's say, what's a terrible unit? Dragon Ogres. He was saying Dragon Ogres would be the most meta unit at 200 gold. And his point is, like, Dragon Ogres hitboxes are bad, their attack animations are bad, their stats are bad. For 1,300 gold or whatever they are. But at 200 gold, fuck yeah, you take those every game. So that's all that matters. So Imrik's like the best combatant in the game, but he's also really expensive. Alright. This is the last game I am required by law to cast. It is Dongus Butterfist versus My Game 288. More Dark Elves versus Dwarfs. After that, so what's going to happen after that is I'm going to go through the replays. I will cast any that look particularly interesting to me, and then we'll end the stream. But seeing as how it is very late, I'm prioritizing getting everybody cast at least once, and then I'll go through, and if anything looks like crazy interesting, we'll cast it. But otherwise, we'll shut her down. So we have two Harpies for the Dark Elves here. Sorceress of Dark with Soul Stealer and Doombolt. Malice Darkblade with all of his usual kit. Double Medusa, Witch Elves and Black Corsairs with Black Corsair handbows. The Dwarves are not scared of double Medusa. They have double cannon, an organ gun, and then a bunch of Thunderer Grudge Rakers, a front line of Dwarf Warriors, Mindless Blasting Charges, Slayers in the back, and Ungrim Iron Fist. But it's mostly these organ guns and cannons that are going to make the Medusa's lives hell. So both the cannons already trying to take out that Medusa. The Medusa's getting really good damage onto the Dwarven infantry, which is why the organ gun, yeah, now they're switching on to the Medusa, which is smart. Earlier, the organ gun was shooting at Malice, and the caster's like, no, that's not your problem. Medusas are your problem. as they destroy the dwarven lines. Now, for the Medusas to pay for themselves, just like our conversation we just had, the Medusas do have to kill about, like, 2.5 dwarven infantry per. And they're on a good start to it, but already the cannons are taxing them a bit. The Harpies are going to have to dive in for a suicidal charge to save the Medusas and keep the dwarven infantry under threat from these Medusas, because if they die, then I don't know how the Dark Elves with this current build can kill all of the dwarves. Harpies fail to shut down the Gorgon gun, yes. But they'll get this cannon, as Blackheart Corsairs are also in here, so it's a double-edged threat. These cannons are going down. One Medusa's already half HP, the other's missing a quarter of theirs. One of the cannons is down. Organ Gun's still trying to fire as Ungrim is hunting down Malice. And the dwarves do need to get more active more quickly. They need to get in here and stop this. We have one Thunder with Grudgerakers trying to fire up and over, but they're obstructed by their own friends because dwarves are short and can't see anything. When they finally fire, they rip up that Harpy, but it is too little too late. They lose their second cannon, and now I'm very concerned they won't be able to stop these Medusas. We have some Thunderers with Grudgerakers trying to shoot, but they're too short. They can't shoot over the hill. Oh, they can't see anything. Shorty, dwarf, and porty. Dwarves are in deep shit now. Unable to shoot the Medusas. Their front line is starting to fall apart. Look at all those volleys coming in, just doing so much damage to them. And now the dwarves are starting to rout. When they rout, the Dark Elves can swoop them up on the backside. And Ungrim hasn't been able to find Malice just yet. There he goes. Big old chunk off his HP. Axe of Dargo and Deadly Onslaught popped. He is a super spooky melee combatant right now, trying to turn this game around. Bounce power is dangerously bad for the dwarves, but he's just going to War of Vengeance his way through Malice's health bar. As he stands around. He's stuck on his own boys. Classic Durf problems. That's looking like army losses coming in soon, man. The Medusas were not stopped. Only 800 value for one. 1800 for the other. Yeah, that one's been getting better shots. If you really want to flex on him, Malice could transform right now to cause army losses. That's how far the Dark Elves are ahead. Is just getting your Lord from half HP back up to full would be enough to just decide it. But it looks like army losses is going to hit anyway. No, not hitting yet. I thought I saw it coming, but I guess not. Doombolt in onto Ungrim, trying to snipe him out. Just get that high value Lord down a little bit. There we go. Armos is finally hitting, leaving the dwarves on their own. That should be a win for the Dark Elves. And Ungrim is the last man standing. Looks like they're going to have to Psycho Charge him to death. There we go. Ungrim got 3,000 value. Nothing else came close. As I still insist Thunder Grudgerakers suck. And people before the DLC disagreed with me. And then after the DLC, I never saw Thunder Grudgerakers again. So, I feel justified. Alright. That is everyone. Let's do a scan, shall we? Stop doing that, me. Grand Cathay, Stinky. Soul Grinder and Changebringer Kite, Stinky. Oh, wait, what is that Hayseed build? Holy shit. Alright, maybe. Vampire Coast versus Nurgle. Not Stinky, but not cool enough to stay up further for. Dark Elves and Medusa, Stinky. Nurgle versus Dwarves. Is that fucking Kugath? Maybe. What the fuck? Maybe. Pass? It's cool, but not cool enough to stay up later into this night for. So pass. Is that a Steam Tank Lord? That's a Steam Tank Lord. Pass. We already cast that. Pass. We did not cast this. It has Torox the Brass Bull and a Giant. It has been a long time since I've seen Torox the Brass Bull. We cast something similar to this pass. That's fucking Kolek Sun Eater. Those are Wood Elves. Okay, maybe. That's a pretty cool high F build. That's a cool Vampire Code Counts build, but I have to skip because there's too much going on. Nardu's taking my precious ogres against Lizardmen, but I don't have time. No. This is the same game, so I can at least delete that one. Yes. This is the same game I already rejected earlier, just sent by a different person. Yes. Okay. This is too many games to cast before I go to bed, so now I have to get picky. God, that Hayseed build looks so fucking cool. But it's just going to get kited, and we're on limited time. So I'm going to have to pass, but that Hayseed build makes me feel a certain way. This, I don't remember looking at. But it is Archaon, a bunch of Chosen getting kited by... What? That's not a Glade Lord. Anybody else seeing that Glade Lord? Because that's not a Glade Lord. I've never seen a Glade Lord that looks like that. Just saying, that was not a Glade Lord. Oh, it's just going to be Kugath getting shot by things, but that could be entertaining. God damn it. That could be entertaining. That could be entertaining. But they're also entertaining. And then there's ogres. I gotta pick some. All right, it's 10:30. Can we do 4 more replays? I can't skip out on fucking the Return of Torox. But I think I have to. It's fucked up, but I have to. I'm so sorry, Torox. I'm so sorry. All right, we'll cast these 3 games, then we're going to bed. Sound good? Sound good. Let's go. All right. Hayseed, a fucking legend. No, my best game. Dude, Nardu, I'm sorry. I have to be picky because there's so many games and I have to go to bed at some point. All right. Kugath and a Soul Grinder. We have 2 Chaos Furies, a bunch of Pestigors for that armor-piercing frontline, Marauders of Nurgle, and some dogs. Meanwhile, for the Dwarves, we have Ungrim Iron Fist, a single cannon, 2 Gyro Bombers, 2 Thunderers, some Longbeards, and Dwarf Warriors. It is a Dwarven box trying to out-artillery Kugath. Can the Gyro Bombers get over there and say hello? Right now, they are doing pathetically low damage to Chaos Furies. Nardu, no. No. Alright, he's mad at me. And now I'm sad. Cannon should be able to outduel the Soul Grinder and maybe even Kugath at the same time, but especially if the Gyro Bombers help. The Gyro Bombers, after their changes, are pretty bad. Fury's walking forward. Gyro Bomber's going to go back. In the interest of time, I am thinking about times 2ing this. Though now the Furies are catching the Gyro Bombers. They retreat to the Thunderers, who will line up and do nothing about this current situation. What did Kugath bring for spells? Fleshy Abundance, Stream of Corruption, and that's it. Yeah, that's fine versus Dwarves. It's a pretty good spell kit. Soul Grinder's down to half HP. Cannon's still 4 out of 4 firing models. And times 2 speed. I like the little back and forth here, where these Thunders are getting absolutely fucked up by Soul Grinder and Kugath, but they're peeling for the Gyro Bombers, so the Gyro Bombers can occasionally go out, but if the Gyro Bombers shoot at the Furies, they do, like, no damage. One Thunderer routed, and then they came back. Cannon still shooting at a Soul Grinder. That's almost gonna heal cap. Cannon's down to half HP. Half ammunition. Thunderer still trying to peel for the Gyro Bombers. Soul Grinder's down to 1 ammunition. Cannon has now switched on to Kugath. I do agree, because Soul Grinder is about to become useless. Gyro Bomber is still wandering around. They're bombing some Pestigors. Oh, things are happening. Oh, fuck. Pestigors in the front line fighting Dwarf Warriors. Let's go. Let's go, Pestigors. And they are murdering these guys. Pestigors are kind of nutty. Something about them ain't right. I don't know how it is, but they kind of feel like they ignore charge defense and just murder the Dwarf Warriors anyway. This cannon has to have, like, literally 3,000 value. 2,600. I wasn't that wrong. The Trox game is so good. Sir Dante. What do you want? Oh, not Sir Dante, sorry. Nardu. Bro. I'm sorry, I missed out. Cannon still hitting Kugath. And Ungrim's just standing here menacingly. He doesn't have to do anything. And the Gyrocopter's even landed. It looks like Slayers came out of it. Dogs and the Furies finish off the last cannon. Take it out. Thunder is also routing. And now Kugath, if Ungrim doesn't get to him, and that's actually a huge boon for having Ungrim here, because without Ungrim, literally Kugath could solo the rest of this army. With the cannon and Thunder is all dead, you can just walk in here and Mortis engine them all to death. And he hit his own Chaos Furies, potentially Demonic Instability crumbling them, leaving the Gyrocopters uncontested in the sky. Because that's the big fear right now. Both these Furies being so damaged, if the Gyrocopters get pure aerial superiority, they can just walk over to Kugath and shoot him until they run out of ammo. Which he would not enjoy. Pestigor still charging in, and the dwarf box formation has not moved, like, at all. You deleted Torox for this? I thought Ungrim would get to fight Kugath, and it would be cool. And so far, that has not happened. This Kugath has 3 shots left, and otherwise just sitting there. We are 8 minutes into an artillery duel. I don't know. I don't know why Ungrim's not getting in there and kicking some ass. Like, he could walk right up to the Soul Grinder and just body this fool. But he's not doing it. Because he doesn't feel like it. And that makes me feel like an asshole. Ungrim's going in. Axe of Dargo and Red Ruin. And he hit it once, and it's going to fucking die. Yeah, he hit it once, Demonic Instability. See, that's what I was waiting for. He just really didn't want to do it. Gyrocopter 7 ammunition and 8. Chaos Fury is still trying to get in there and deal with them. As the Gyro Bombers keep just dropping bombs on these guys, these Chosen of Nurgle, but they're not doing any damage. Alright, Kugath used the last of his shots. He now has to go into melee if he wants to do anything. And I really think the Gyro Bombers should be going over there and shooting at him, but I guess they just want to get rid of these Chosen. That's not a bad choice, I suppose. Kind of assumed they were Pestigors, but turns out there's one Chosen on the field. Dwarves are ahead of the balance power. I would very much agree, as Kugath slimed his way forward. Nurgle vs. Warriors of Chaos was an epic Vanguard fight from the start and very close. I've apparently made many people angry with my decisions in life, because my decisions are bad. That's okay. I love having bad decisions. And by that I mean I can't cast every replay, so I just have to take best guesses based off builds, which one will be any good. There we go. Now the Gyro Bombers are getting to shoot Kugath for free. No ammo left on this one. The other one has 3 shots left. And Kugath is going to Fleshy Abundance himself. My word. Gyro Bombers don't do fire damage either, so they're not actually stopping his healing at all. As the Dwarves slowly grind, all I care about at this point is if Ungrim gets to go fight Kugath. That's all I want. As we slowly watch Marauders and stuff grind down, Kugath gets to go fight Ungrim, and Ungrim is doing exactly what I wanted, just kicking the shit out of him. This is all I wanted out of life, okay? I eventually got it. We got there. You just didn't think we would. Axe of Dargo cleaving through Kugath's flesh. The Slayer King of Kaer Cadrin swinging away, living his best life, defending the north as he does. Meanwhile, Nurgle's slow tide continues to press in, man. That's a lot of Marauders. But if Ungrim can kill Kugath like he frickin' is, then we'll be fine. Red Ruin is out. plus 75% damage across the board for less melee defense, which Kugath is taking advantage of, getting a big old shot onto Ungrim. More Longbeards are joining in the fight. We have Slayers standing around. They do not feel like participating just yet. And Kugath is going to heal himself yet again as Ungrim beats his ass. I mean, I think even with the heal, Ungrim probably continues to beat the shit out of him. But maybe not. Plaguefather's Oration is out, and now the Chaos Furies are in. Slayer's starting to move up with a rear charge on the Furies. They should take them out pretty quickly. What are you all? Marauders, 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 Pestigores, Pestigores, and the Chosen over there are super dead. Got it. So nothing matters except for Kugath, and he is heal capped officially as he drains down everybody. Nurgle's ahead of the balance of power. And I would agree. Hope we get spaz on Hummus. I am trying to be quiet because Grace is probably trying to go to bed, seeing as how it's 11 at night. And did she text me? Okay. Okay. Cool. Alright. Alright. Ungrim's still fighting. Gonna rout off Pestigores. Gonna rout off more Pestigores. These Chosen Nurgle look like they're going to rout as soon as Gyrocopters land on their backsides. It's probably too much for their little bodies. And Ungrim's back at it. Back onto Kugath, who's still at 9,000 HP. Still grinding through all the dwarves, and there goes a Stream of Corruption down the line, doing pretty good damage to those guys. But again, the entire thing comes down to if Ungrim can duel Kugath, which he can. And Kugath runs away. Like a little baby. Did Kugath bring his Mortis? I think he has to. I don't think he can go without it. I thought it was just bound to him, honestly. Oh, you might be right. It doesn't actually look like he has it. I didn't know he could opt out of it. Like, the Exalted Great and Clean ones have to take it. Wow, Kugath did not bring his Mortis. Okay. I mean, he's still a really good duelist. Still has really high stats, good armor piercing, good weapon strength, all that stuff. Marauder's still trying to grind it out. Owl times 2 speed through the blob fight. As Kugath's trying to hang in there. Ungrim's back in. All of his buffs popped. He tries to fight Kugath. Gets a little distracted here and there. Balance power is about 50-50. And this is a close game, but it is a slow game as we are at 15 minutes. Kugath gets a couple shots onto Ungrim. Ungrim gets a couple shots back onto Kugath. 16 minutes. His Fury's fading away. Marauder's fading away. Everybody is fading besides Kugath and Ungrim as they fight to the very death. 1,000 HP left on Ungrim. 3,000 on Kugath, though that is an even fight as far as I'm concerned. Slayer's not abandoning the Slayer King, but everybody else surely is. The dwarves are behind on the balance of power. But Ungrim never gives up, never surrenders, and he takes a big old shot to the face. Red Ruin is out. Minus melee defense for him could be very dangerous, but he gets a couple huge shots out onto Kugath. He's down to 450 HP. Kugath gets another shot in, one more shot, and Ungrim is dead, but one more shot, and Kugath will die just from demonic instability crumbling. There he goes, but he manages to rally with Plaguefather's Oration at the last second. Ungrim's down to 96 HP. Hits Kugath again, who's down to 500. Balance power is against the dwarves pretty badly. We'll see how much it matters, as both are going for the final blow. Ungrim does go down to 1 HP, which means he's dead. But as soon as Plaguefather's Oration wears off, Kugath will also die, and then I wonder if the Slayers can carry it home just because they're unbreakable. He is not. Plaguefather's Oration wears off now. His leadership's down to 4, 228 HP, but he refuses to die. Refuses to let demonic instability take him out. 82 HP, slowly getting chopped at by the Slayers. That Slayer model's down to 3. This guy's down to 13. Kugath gets away with 30 HP, 9 leadership. No fucking shot. His leadership is still 10 and he's at 30 HP. That is wild. And if he had died, maybe some stuff would have routed. But he will not die. Looks like it'll be the Slayers instead that get gotten. Kugath 3,500 value even without his Mortis Engine. And that's looking like GG. Cycle charging Kugath, let's go. That was a pretty wild one. It took forever, and I had to fast forward through a lot of it, but... Ungrim with 3,300 value, Kugath with 3,500. Gyro Bombers did fine. The Cannon with 2,800 is pretty good too. Thunder is getting sniped out by the Soul Grinder. It's just rough, but what are you going to do? He's getting kited. I can't believe Kugath lived with 30 HP. That's not okay. Alright, this is a strange one. The Lizards of Mr. Johnny Cash not bringing a mage. Instead bringing, I believe, double Carnosaur versus Trogdor the Flatulence Hawk Riders. Slow, but funny, Rhino. It's true. Or Reno. I think it's probably Reno, not Rhino, but... For Mr. Cash, we do have some Cold Wind Riders, 2 Kroxigors, 2 Skinks, and then double Carnosaur, Krokgar, and a Saurus Scar Veteran. And Hand of the Gods did a lot of damage to the Hawk Riders. Alright, cool. For Trogdor... Oh wait, there's some flanking stuff? 2 Ripperdactyls, got it. For Trogdor, we have triple Hawk Rider, a Glade Lord, the Wild Hunters of Kuranos, and then Eternal Guard, War Dancers, a Glade Captain, and a Spellsinger Beast with Flock of Doom and Wisdom's Wild Form. And this is a really cool Wood Elf flag. Look at how cool those Crimson Eternal Guard look. That is awesome. Anyway, Ripperdactyls rear charge the War Dancers and actually do a significant amount of HP on the charge. Now they'll probably die. Because they're getting rear charge, but we'll see. Cold Wind Rider's going to try and come in and make use of the chaos. The Wood Elves fighting the trees are a dangerous force, since they all have Woodsmen, I believe. They have Woodsmen, right? Yeah. They'll be fine. Bye, Nardu. I am also beat, and I also want to go to bed at some point, but then you people keep making me cast games, so this doesn't seem fair. Eternal Guard with Wiston's Wild Form, giving them a bit more armor than they're used to having as they try to hold against these Kroxigors, the 2 giant T-Rexes tearing through them. That looks more painful than it is. Beautiful breath attack down from the Glade Lord actually is going to take out the Skinks and then leave just the Kroxigors and big old T-Rexes. Hawk Riders diving into melee down here. Look at this pile. Look at this. The Lizardmen are just surrounded by crazy shit. I mean, they have their own Ripperdactyls in here as well. It's not like either side really has the dominance in this exact area, but the Terror Routes are coming in. Skinks, Kroxigors, Cold Wind Riders, everybody's Terror Routing away from the giant dragon that landed in their midst. Wild Hunters of Kuranos fighting 2 T-Rexes. This is mostly a zoom in and just watch the animations battle. There's a lot here to see. Lizardmen falling dangerously behind on the balance of power considering we're only 2 minutes into this game. And the T-Rexes continue to try and kill off as many Wild Hunters of Kuranos as they can. Already taking half HP off those guys. But the Hawk Riders could get back to the sky. Have tons of ammo, tons of HP. Same with the Glade Lord. They're doing fine. Zoo Wars. Zoo Wars. Yeah, look at these Wild Hunters. They're having a bad time fighting Kroxigors and T-Rexes and shit. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, sleepy. Sleepy time. I get up at 5 in the morning for work usually. I don't work tomorrow, which is why we're doing the stream tonight, but still, I'm sleepy. Nice little Flock of Doom out onto the Lizardmen, trying to do a bit of damage to them while Hawk Riders kite out the Ripperdactyl Riders and chase Kroxigors, though they have to abandon their chase of the Kroxigors to avoid the Ripperdactyls, which I can appreciate. The Wood Elves come out of the trees to continue chasing these guys. Both of the T-Rexes are still very healthy. But for the rest of the Lizardmen army, they're not feeling good. I appreciate these two just going everywhere together. I find it very silly. Hawk Riders team up on the Ripperdactyl Riders while I was distracted looking at the pretty T-Rex models. Kill those guys off. And that's that. Soon we will be down to just two Carnosaurs. These Croxpurs are trying to rejoin the fight, but all these Hawk Riders are just going to shoot at him. As it goes. That's some insane Hawk Rider DPS. That's crazy. So much damage. T-Rex is back in, fighting on top of Wiston's wild form buffed up Eternal Guard. And here come all the Hawk Riders and the Glade Lord. Everybody diving down. Big damage onto the Saurus Scar Veteran. And one or two more melee attacks can trigger army losses, because these guys were the entire balance of power and they are getting massacred. He was full HP a second ago, and now all the Hawk Riders are getting him. Blackhead Dominion's trying to lower their leadership, but they're not nearly low enough to rout none of the army losses here in just a second. Wood Elf Hawk Riders beating up on the Lizardmen double Carnosaur. T-Rexes need more health? They do. They do. Well played from Trogdar. Well done. Hawk Riders not quite paying for themselves, but you know, they were there. They did fine. For Mr. Cash, it was bold. It was bold. Too bold. Far too bold. Last replay for the night. I know I missed a ton of good ones because everybody's yelling at me, but we do what we can. We have Hayseed with Kolek versus Del Duca Sabudo with his Wood Elves trying to kite Kolek. I see 3 Deepwood Scouts. I see 2 Way Watchers. This will be the last game of the night. My favorite Warriors of Chaos Lord, even though he is dog shit. Ooh. Torreson, I'm glad you got a good surround and slaughter in, man. I'm sorry. I had to skip some. I had to make some tough calls, some tough decisions. No one was happy with it. Last game of the night, we have Kolek Sun Eater, a Shadows Cast with Pit of Shades, and Occam's Mind Razor. Bunch of Marauders and Chaos Warriors of Khorne with Halberds. All of them have silver chevrons. And then Chaos Warhounds, some Marauder Horsemen, and 1 Chaos Knight. On the other side for the Wood Elves, Great Stag Knights and Glade Riders running around, with 2 Way Watchers, triple Deepwood Scout, a Glade Lord with Pride of Nothrema and Arrows of Kurnos, and a Spellslinger of Life with only Earthblood. The Wood Elves bringing 0 melee infantry. Alright, here we are. Kolek throws out a lightning bolt onto the Way Watchers and does get a direct hit on them, but there's the Prey of Nothrema, stopping all the Chaos Knights in place, though it looks like the 5 archers are not able to capitalize on that net. They are busy running away, and Kolek gets straight into the Wood Elf Cavalry, getting some decent shots down. Now, the Marauders and Chaos Warriors and stuff need to spread out so that they can corner the Wood Elves, because if they walk at them too rigidly like this, the Wood Elves are going to slip either left or right and be fine. Chaos Knights run away, losing over half their HP to the Wood Elf kiting. And now the Great Stag Knights are going to start their cycle charge. If done effectively, they can take almost no damage from charging into Marauders and stuff. And then they can run away after doing a lot of shock damage. As you see, they took out half of a Marauder. And they took very little in return. So this is something you can do if your opponent either goes for an entirely infantry build or just like doesn't have their mobility in place to punish you for doing these things. Cycle charging with heavy hitting cav is really, really good. Glade Riders are going to get charges onto Chaos Warhounds, which should mean the Chaos Warhounds get routed very quickly. 95 speed and 94, but with charge bonus, Glade Riders might catch them anyway. Might. How are the lads doing? Kolek has been hammering Glade Riders to death. You can see their dead horses on the ground. Hits another one there as they continue to fall back. The Warriors of Chaos got to get this corner surround in. Otherwise they're going to continue to get kited out. That is a dead Glade Rider as more dogs swarm in with Kolek and the Chaos Knights. It's too late for that guy. He's going to be dead. The Wood Elves are running out of places to run to. Meow Meow testing out strat tonight? Okay. Okay. That's nice. Still have some dogs in this one flank. The Wood Elves not quite retreating yet. Standing in the face of these Marauders, and Kolek and the dogs are moving in on this side, so they do have to run away. Looks like they're going to start to, as Chaos Warrior's still running in, but they got to kind of spread the net out a little bit and really net these guys in. I suppose, like, if they keep on their current course, they'll be okay, because the Wood Elves will kite back here and then have nothing. Assuming this stuff comes over here and blocks off their escape, which it's currently not. It's currently walking in here, so it's making the net less wide. Instead of being like this wide and keeping them in, the net is now only this wide, and there's a big escape route right there. So I'm a little concerned. Really good lightning strike from Kolek does good damage onto the Glade Riders, and then he himself charges in. So the Widow's losing a lot of cavalry to secure their 5 archers running away. And the dogs on the high ground not being reactivated yet to charge into these Deepwood Scouts and Way Watchers is a little concerning. Alright. Warriors of Chaos, unfortunately, a little clumped up over here. And the Wood Elves are going to be able to escape. Great Stag Knights get charged by Kolek. They need to get out of here. Do not want to be fighting Kolek at all, especially when he has all of his buffs popped. The Warriors of Chaos are down to the balance of power. I probably agree. Seems reasonable. Both sides have suffered a lot. And these Great Stag Knights getting stuck fighting Kolek is a big whoopsie, and they're starting to run away now, as they should. I don't know if the Deepwood Scouts and Way Watchers really have the DPS, though. The balance of power believes in them, but I've played enough Warhammer 3 to know that they kind of suck now. We forgot the Chaos Knights. Yeah, that happens. Great Stag Knights have taken so much of their HP from ending up in melee with Kolek. They do not enjoy that. This is what Elves keep trying to kite away. I'm actually thinking the Warriors of Chaos will be fine. Because look at the ammunition bars on these skirmish guys. It's not like they have a ton left. And after that, what are they going to do? Walk into Marauders and die? Nothing here can kill Kolek at this point. Unironically. Pravenoth Rima out onto Kolek. All of the archers aim for him. Wally is netted, and he lost the missile resistance of his scaly skin. Because Pravenoth Rima got rid of it. Took a decent bit of damage, but now the net's off, missile resist's off. He should be okay as another volley comes in. Still good damage. He has to get away from the edge of that map. Ooh, he goes close to the edge of that map. Okay, I'm concerned. If you take too much more damage, you're going to route off that. Don't do that. In comes a Pit of Shades to kill off the Great Stag Knights. The last real threat here. Those other Great Stag Knights are over there, but they're already receiving healing, and still they're getting fucked up next to the edge of the map, so they'll probably get pushed off soon. Deepwood Scouts and Way Watchers still firing. Good job keeping them alive. It's just like, this is kind of the Wood Elf conundrum right now, and why people say they suck, myself included. Is like, you did all this work to keep these guys alive. They used all their ammo, and it's pretty whatever. 324 value on the Deepwood Scouts. Now, you could say part of that's firing at Marauders, sure, but like, it shouldn't matter that much. Like, you should still get solid damage if you're shooting at Marauders. You should get great damage if you're shooting at better things, but like, I don't know. The fact these Deepwood Scouts have been pissing away all their ammo and they apparently haven't even killed a full Marauder. Well, one of them hadn't. That was kind of messed up. Chaos pulling further ahead as every shot the Wood Elves use decreases their own balance of power as the game realizes that their ammunition isn't as precious as it thinks it is. There are jabs, they aren't even hitting the heroes, no. Yeah. There is a Marauder Horseman that has been forgotten. That doesn't seem to matter too much as the Warriors of Chaos just walking down the Wood Elves, letting them run out of ammo and then swarming them with dogs and Kolek. Final arrow of Kurnos out onto Kolek, gets really good damage. He's down to 1500 HP. No healing left for him, but no one left to damage him either. Way Watchers out of ammo. That one is 2. We have 1 shot, 2 shot, 0 shot. 1 shot. Off the map shot. Kolek is chilling, man. Make Kolek 10 times bigger. Yes, Dreaded Saurian. Yes. Now you're speaking in riddles. Marauder's gonna get killed, but I'm not sure what the Wood Elves are even kiting for at this point. I'm not sure what their plan is. I suppose the Warriors of Chaos are very tattered. Full health Marauder Horsemen could get killed by the Eagle Casters in the late game, I suppose. It still seems unlikely. Chaos Warriors with Halberds of Khorne getting in a fight with the Deepwood Scouts and murdering them. Murdering the shit out of them. They do have Frenzy and Silver Chevrons. I suppose that's something. Kolek's going to try and take a fight with the enemy Lord, but she should get back into the sky. No, it looks like the Chaos Knights will hold her down for now. The dogs are finally getting their chance to run down the Way Watchers. Last of their ammunition amounting to nothing if they get eaten by dogs here. Quick little Overcast to Earthblood, try and keep them in it. The Chaos Knights fail to keep the Glade Lord on the ground yet again. No, they're kind of keeping her down there. They're doing okay. The dogs are doing their best. These Glade Riders have done the work of the gods to keep those archers online. They've been peeling dogs since the day they were born. Where are we at? Something's behind me. What was that? Another Marauder needs to be remembered. However the Warriors of Chaos player is, just needs to tighten up their micro a bit. Their build was fine, but, well, I mean, besides Kolek. Kolek's a funny haha meme, but he's bad. You're as bad as bad gets, my friends. Waywatcher's still trying to get eaten by dogs. Glade Riders peel. At this point, dude, the Warriors of Chaos just, like, honestly have to focus all their attention onto this Glade Rider and just kill it. Just tell it to fuck off, because this is getting insane. How much this thing's been peeling for Waywatchers that don't even have any ammo anymore. So, like, just ignore them and kill the fucking Glade Rider. Now the Glade Rider's gone. The dog's gone. It's GG. For the Wood Elves, Great Stag Knights, okay value, not amazing. Waywatchers, fine value. Deepwood Scouts, pretty underwhelming considering they used all their ammo and one of them paid for themselves. For Hayseed, I mean, he endured. It's one of the ways you have to deal with Kite. Also, Hayseed, if you're still here, if you've gone to bed, that's acceptable. But if you're still here, I talked about it during the thing, but I think you had a fine build to deal with Kite. I just think you needed to spread out your net a bit more and really corner those Wood Elves in the pocket. That was fine. And then, like, don't forget units as much, which, I mean, wow, big brain insight, Human Boy. Thanks for that. No one else could have provided that info. Yeah, I know, but it's still true. Your build was fine. Your strategy was fine. Your micro was lacking a little bit, but, like, you did the right stuff overall. So GG's. Yeah, Hayseed's here. You won with Kolek, though. So, like, you can't be upset. You're still a hero. But I liked your dog play. That, like, I have no complaints. Your dogs did very well. Good target selection. Lots of value. Good shit, brother. Good shit. I'm going to bed. I don't want to be here anymore. They were fun games, lads. GG's. We had a lot of people show up, which means I had to skip a lot of replays. But I'd rather have more people play than cast all the replays of a small tournament. Look at your strat. Meow meow, what strat? You did not send it to me. You are not Poetic Goose. I just made it up 3 minutes ago, but I was JK about trying to. Alright. That's fine. Goodbye, everybody. If you want more late night streams at this hour, then you gotta subscribe and give me money. And tell me that you're giving me money so that I'll stream at this hour. And then come to my house and slap me awake and then make me stream. If you do all those things, then I'll stream at this hour or more. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye.